Hello, and thank you for joining us for the game night. Tonight we're diving into our continuing D&D adventure in the world of Drax Arcadia. Last time, we had a couple of special interests draw the attention of Blue Industries, and now they've been tasked with recovering an item that's been taken recently. Let's see what happens next.
I'm just gonna knock at the door.
Uh, the lounge is still closed up. It's not quite open in the wee hours of the morning. The clientele that's usually here is not awake generally.
I believe they had a little window to the outside, correct?
Mhm.
Uh, a little gnome kind of peeks his head, like up from the bottom shelf section of it, completely ignoring the fact that he's got on a bright orange hat. And he's just kind of looking out the window to see who it is. Bracken, do you know this guy?
Ugh, I don't know, man.
I ain't never seen
I've
this
never
guy
seen this
before.
guy before. We're coming, we're coming.
What's
Think
up
he's
with
seen
all the
us.
knocking? Oh, come on, mon ami.
I don't think he's seen us yet. I don't know who this is.
I see you.
And Ponzi just like freezes in place and just kind of stares at him.
You're
I
expecting
think
me.
he sees us.
Fonzie. Dakin. You're expecting me.
Oh, that's right. We was supposed to see somebody, wasn't it?
Yeah, some
All right.
fancy looking dude. Yeah.
All right. Well, since seeing as this is a normal sized door, Dakin, and Dakin hops up on the shoulders to answer the door.
All right.
As the door opens, you see a gnome at the bottom. You see a kobold wearing the large orange hat on top of his shoulders.
I just go.
Hi. Which one of you is Dakin and which one of you is Fonzie?
We both point in up and down directions at each other.
Perfect. Super clear. All right. That's about what I expected. So that's all I need to know. Where to, you guys?
And who are you supposed to be?
Oh, I'm so sorry. My name is Cassius Gritkin. I'm a medical doctor. I was sent by somebody that we all mutually know, and I'm here to sort of assist you along the way of your ventures today.
I thought this was sort of a solo mission between me and my buddy over here.
How's it solo if there's two of you, though?
Exactly.
Well,
Together we are tall. T-pose. Well, if you are interested in lending us a hand, I think we could arrange an assistance if you are so inclined.
sure.
Uh, we'll do about 10%.
Oh, I'm not looking for anything. I'm here on behalf of my boss, and we sort of have mutual needs, and this will be beneficial without the 10%.
So this is he's just
Well, at this point, what's going to happen is Dak Bonzi's going to have Dakin hop down. It's a good thing he doesn't realize we're charging him the 10% for helping us. Just agree to it. I think that'd be just fine.
I'll give you guys a 10%.
He's got really good hearing. This guy's good. It's gonna be real hard to pull the wool over this one's eyes. All right. So I believe that yes, we met with a gentleman named a number 12, who said, "Do you have information for us on an item he's looking to procure off the books?"
I know general location, and I have very good contacts and a very well known presence, which may be of assistance to you.
Excellent. Well, no time to get started with the present unless we got something else that you need to do.
No, not that I can think of any stops on the way.
We are going to make a quick stop. Number 12 had offered to give us some information on a particular device my partner here is very fond of.
Mm-hmm.
So we are going to make a little quick stop along the way at one of the shops. Perhaps you can help us find it, though. We are unfamiliar with the thing that was called I believe he called it a firearm.
A firearm. What are you guys going to do with a firearm?
Well, I already got two, so I'm not real sure.
Yeah. Dakin, you?
I like big things, man. I do.
Mm. Is that a,
Though we did see make a man's head no longer inside.
Yeah.
Yes,
That
it'll
was
do
great.
that.
So
Yeah,
that-
I'm not a big
he-
fan of
This guy's very fond of that.
Yeah, I love that
He
stuff.
he, he
Okay,
likes that
okay.
kind of stuff.
firearm or the head stuff.
Both.
Okay, okay, that makes sense then. All right. I mean, I can assist you if it's something like reaching it from a top shelf, something along those lines.
No, we got that. And I hop
Okay.
back on it.
And this Ponzi just starts chopping out the door with him.
After you guys.
And so yeah, we are gonna want to stop by the local shop to take a look, see if we can procure back in a fire.
But as we leave the lounge, I like to yell out, be like, "Mr. LeBeau, we'll be right back, man.
Make sure the door shuts behind you, okay?
I'll try."
At which point we'll wait for him to leave before we both kind of take the door and close it at the same time.
Okay, I walk out. I
Yeah.
tell you guys to lead the way. I'm not
you,
super.
You
too
are
familiar.
stepping out into the entertainment district's
Mhm.
streets again. This time of day, it's not as busy, but there's still people coming and going. You see people with supply trucks, different carts and things like that, dropping off supplies to some of the restaurants and some of the other places, and some of the bistros and cafes are open now at this point. Um,
As
the
we're
to
coming
get to like a gunsmith or a firearms like sales place, you would need to definitely head to the market district.
Okay. As we're going about that too, Ponzi would have taken a little pieces of parchment and wrote down a couple things for small little advertising cards. So as we're going by, Ponzi's just using Mage Hand to drop it on people's tables at the cafe and sneak it into the pockets of people walking by. And he's just like, yep, that's right. This is Ponzi and Dakin. Come see us at night performing at the Mr. LeBeau's fine establishment. Even when they're not willing to, he's just
Roll
kind of
me
like,
a persuasion or a performance check, both of you.
that is a 17 for me.
That is 18 for me.
Some of the people at first look apprehensive, and then somebody goes, oh, that was the show we saw last night. Oh, that was them. Oh, okay, cool. Some people are like, you told me about that. This and that, and like people that were apprehensive at first are just trying to like, oh yeah, sure, thanks.
And Ponzi, as they're kind of like unrecognizable, like, perhaps you just didn't recognize me from down there. And he hops up on the shoulders of Dakin, and he kind of like puffs out his chest a little bit as he's handing these things out.
As I do the same, I try to look all tough.
And one of the people you talk to, a lady, she's like, yeah, he's the one that made the screen so we can see outside.
That's right. All of you are our favorite audience. There is none that we will forget.
Yeah, we love poor people. Everybody.
That
We
too.
love them. Yes.
We do not discriminate due to monetization values.
Yeah, you're broke. It don't matter.
You guys are good.
So this is because of this slow and methodical process of bouncing back and forth in this in what seems chaotic but is very well orchestrated. It does take you about an hour to take about a 20-minute walk. And you come up to you've heard of this one on the street from just people passing by and things like that, and it's actually one of the ones that's closest to the entryway to the city. It's Ben's Metalworks.
Okay.
That's the one where you've seen a forge-born outside with his auto hammer, just the hammer that spins within the arm, just ding 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 ding, just. And already at this time of day, he's already just out there with only one of the assistants at this point.
And I'm really not out of my comfort zone, but I'm not used to this area just because any metal or things like that were procured through my work.
You would normally, if you don't typically head to the entertainment district.
Yeah.
You don't typically head to the merchant district.
Mhm.
If you leave Blue Industries, you head up into the level 2 where your house is.
Yeah.
Which is infrequent at best. So this is kind of like a out of your comfort zone, definitely.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd walk up to the forged.
Give me a deception check or a performance check to hide that.
First roll is a 13. I have advantage on deception. Yeah, second one's a 3.
So 13. What's your guys' passive insights?
10.
11.
10 off? Yeah, no. Just he seems kind of quiet, but not. You just almost like he's waiting for you guys to get the job done.
Yeah, not in the same way that 12 caught our attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, and every opportunity I get that you guys look back at me, I just sort of gesture to lead the way, and I'm observing you as you go.
But yeah, so I walk up to like the Forgeborn and I look over at Ponzi and I'm like, I wonder how much money this guy has.
You hear
Mine.
ding, 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 ding. And then one of the he makes direct eye contact with you guys.
Hello there.
Doesn't say a word. Just stares.
Surprise.
The assistant's like, if you need to buy something, you could go inside and talk to Ben.
I think his speech box is broken. We might find one later to sell to him.
You see the hammers slowly start the two hammers slowly start rotating.
I lean in and I'm watching them. Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, yeah, definitely it's broken. We're definitely going to have to find one that we can procure from another one.
But once we put it in, I'm definitely asking how much money you need.
I might be able to help you guys out with a speech box. I work at a big company that does that sort of stuff.
Excellent. I did offer to buy a couple of pieces of merchandise that number 12 had acquired
Mhm.
tactically.
Yeah, he does that.
Just the other day, actually.
No?
We're not
A
against
gnome?
buying the gnome, but we also were trying to buy the machine.
Well, the machine with the no. I was like the
A
gnome.
gnome
I mean,
and
I
a
didn't realize
machine?
that you were looking at the gnome. I was looking at the machine, but we can buy both.
What did you see with a gnome and a machine?
It was flying in the sky with like some crazy stuff, and it landed like on the other side of the town.
Interesting. And 12 had something to do with this?
We saw 12 around the time where he did kind of flatline a lady who very rudely walked in front of him. Very, very rude. And very inconsiderate. We were on the other end of the side street. We even stepped to the side to allow the fine gentleman to pass.
We were
But
so
she,
fortunate. She was
She did not.
As long as he wasn't the rude one, I'm okay.
oh, definitely not. But there was some weird lady with a dragon that was very inconsiderate of the man, because he was carrying something very heavy.
Yeah, that dragon was ugly.
Interesting.
Yeah, considering that we had such a fine example of a
Exactly. Peak.
dragon
Peak
heritage right
dragon.
with us. Don't tell him.
No
I-
matter what.
Draconian.
Dak, and I
Maximus.
sense you're very proud of your draconic heritage.
Yeah, I kind of am.
Yeah, yeah. A specimen of sorts?
Oh, you should hear him dragon cry.
Yeah?
It's the attention of everybody around the block. We just did it the other day.
Oh, and then as he says that, then I do the draconic cry. I'm like,
It sounds better once he gets warmed up. It's helping the day for him.
That's interesting. Do you have any sort of insecurities when it comes to being a dragon?
While they're talking, he's gonna once he's gonna go talk to the shopkeeper.
Yeah, you go inside and you hear the little ding ding from the door.
Yeah.
And
Well, I'm just saying, like while they're talking, he's gonna cut out.
and then and then I'll be like, well, I am part rat, so I guess
Part rat.
yeah,
Interesting.
ratish behavior, not really rat.
I
Like,
gotcha.
cat-like.
So you think that your behavior is rat-like, therefore you identify as a rat?
I think so. I don't know. You tell me.
I mean, the question's for you. It's up to you to interpret.
So I'm a rat.
Sorry, I'm a bit of a nosy person sometimes. If I overstep, just let me know.
Yeah, I'm somewhat of a drag rat, if you would say.
Okay, okay. Like trans rat,
I guess.
which is okay.
As he starts tweaking because he's nervous.
Does he have like a nervous tick?
Is he? Before he comes out, I'm gonna say, hey, Dakin, are you close to any other of your kobold family, friends, anything like that?
I haven't seen him in a while. So
Yeah.
I've just been on the run with nothing positive.
Was it traumatic when you left?
I don't quite remember.
Okay.
Memory's a little foggy.
Yeah. Do you miss him?
Well, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
If I remember quite correctly.
I have something really cool I want to show you. I used to have this friend. He, when I was a kid, and he was a kobold actually, and we would play. And I was part of this little bit of a seedy underground myself at the time, and had a tough upbringing. However, sometimes I would play with this friend of mine who was a kobold, and had such great times. Unfortunately, his life was cut short when I was very, very young. And I still carry around his skull with me. So I didn't know if you wanted to look at my dead friend's skull.
As he puts his skull in, he starts freaking out more. He's like,
Cassius smiles a little bit and just watches him react to the skull.
Sure, yeah, buddy.
Yeah, he was decapitated. So I have his skull still. He never knew his family, and he left early. So
Wait, so he renounced capitalism? He went communist?
yeah.
His teeth were still in it.
Yeah, he was still technically a baby.
Oh, God.
Good friend.
Oh, he looked so healthy.
He was very healthy until they cut his head.
Yeah, until he was dead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna take that back.
The
It goes to my
anti-healthy.
collection. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah, just tweaking out.
I'm glad you liked that, Dakin.
I loved it so much.
Meanwhile, inside, you see a older dwarf, big bushy beard, gray hair, blue eyes, just wiping the glass on the counters and the display cases.
And he's gonna come in and be like, I was told to come talk to you if you were interested in making a deal.
Well, known to spin a deal once in a while.
Excellent, excellent. Me and my friend out here are looking for a matching set of what I believe one of the security guards called a revolver.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
Would you be? Is there a window in the store that he's like? Would you be like pointing back at the window? You just see me like.
You'd actually look out the window and see him holding this thing that you can't quite make out, and he's just like, just kind of like,
Excuse me,
on full tilt.
One second. He's gonna pop his head out and be like,
He was so
Mr.
young.
Cassius, did you take his skull out of his head?
My friend or your friend?
The one that seems to be kind of losing his mind while holding the skull.
No.
That's what we're
We were just talking about kobolds, and I love anatomy, being a doctor and all, so I figured I would show him part of my collection.
Okay, so long as his skull's still inside his head, we're good.
His skull's in there,
And
and I think everything that belongs inside of it is still there as well, although it doesn't appear so.
Don't worry, that's mostly empty space upstairs. It's room for improvement.
Perfect. I thought so.
Ducks back in.
They say that, I touch my head and I just go like,
Is it still there?
As Bungie just ducks back in after checking.
You
Sorry.
see Ben's just shaking his head like, you seem like a responsible sort. What kind of gun are you looking for?
Don't worry.
I'll step inside at this point.
Don't worry. He
Uh,
loses his mind quite often. I just had to make sure he still had it.
as I'm still outside,
Just,
like
you're kind of like just squeezing your
now,
head.
yeah.
now
sorry.
seeing this, I really want him to have a gun. So I'm gonna go inside to make sure my presence as a upper class person, he gets that gun.
Yeah, you walk in, he's like, hello, sir. He's still chuckling about the what little bit he actually heard. It's just like, you handed a kobold skull. Like, it's like, I don't like kobolds. That's dark. Like,
I like the macabre. What can I say?
you should hear about some of the stuff we used to do to goblins back in the day.
Oh, I believe it. I actually have a goblin nose in my collection.
Goblin gnomes.
No.
It must
That-
take up most
oh.
of it. They're huge.
Oh
I was
yeah,
gonna say,
yeah.
woof.
It was a
That-
good bulk,
That did not sound consensual.
or it was a rhinoplasty, but it was the whole nose.
as I slither in, I'm like, how do I see that? You know, do you have that in your collection?
One day you guys could see my collection. I just have to make sure that you could go up to the second level.
Why did you show me that then?
Listen, that's about $50 on the street. We'll expect payment up front.
But yeah, I just go like, why did you show me that then?
You know, I just was sharing something that I thought you might find solace in.
Okay.
See, we both agree.
Make me a charisma saving throw.
18.
You Cassius gain 1d4 plus your level temporary HP. As you just like savor this, and you can almost hear her laughing,
Okay.
almost like you know she's watching, and
Yep.
you know that was amusing.
Do I feel weaker or
No,
No.
no, you don't feel drained or nothing like that. Other than you're tweaking, man. Like,
At which point, seeing that, I go like, Dakin, come here. Let's try this one out for size.
well, the first thing he pulls up is, I mean, it just looks like your classic handgun. It's got this one is a revolver, like your old like what you see in like police movies, like the standard issue little snub nose, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's got it in like a black metal, and he's got one in blue shine, which
Okay.
is like
Blued. Okay,
a blue
blued.
tinted, and is it says now with rust resistance, like as a little tag under it, because that's what it's for.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then he's got where you can swap out the handle for different patterns or different colors.
Okay.
So I know I'm a doctor, but I would absolutely, going by the way you guys sort of interact with the world, you might want to get that blued one so that it doesn't get rusty and it doesn't jam on him. I want to make sure that when he wants to use it, it is functional.
I also kind of want to launch him into a wall with it.
Yeah, that would be
Can-
hilarious.
Can I roll like something to like see if he's like lying about like that it's like not gonna rust or not gonna?
Oh yeah, you want to roll insight on
Yeah.
on Ben?
Yeah.
At which point, he's also going to ask Ben if they have a larger model of the same thing.
We do have rifles.
I got nat 20.
Oh well, they're more like
Nice.
this. Not 20.
Yeah.
Nice. Like when you ask him about like, is this for legit? And he goes, yeah. So it's a new process that my partner came up with.
Mr. Blue.
Although it's
I'm
blued.
not partnered with Blue Industries, but I've done some work for him. But no.
Oh, sorry, I'm still traumatized by the dragon.
No,
yeah.
No, okay, my partner's outside, the one working the anvil out there.
It takes a while for him to recover after kind of a freak out like that.
His name's Smith. He picked it.
This is his first name.
Practical.
Rock.
You should see how he spells it. It's the hardest thing I've ever seen. It's a bunch of numbers and letters.
That makes sense. Ones and zeros.
It's the Forgeborn way.
Mixed in with
Yeah,
a little
makes sense.
draconic.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But he's got a keen mind. He doesn't talk much, because when he does, he's a real asshole.
So,
Like it's real hard for him to interact with people and not offend them.
well, that's probably because he has a damaged voice box. So we'll work on fixing that for you in the
Oh
later.
no, it's not damaged. He just chooses not to use it.
And I wave my little hand at the guy,
Yeah.
and I go like, "How much money?"
He didn't like stare at you, did he?
Well, yes, he did, but I was kind of wondering.
Dakin got a stare.
You got to pass.
I
today.
noticed the stare.
You got to pass. Good luck.
How much money is he, my good man?
Oh, you should go ask him that.
Dakin, go ask him that.
That would be. Oh man.
Okay,
Here,
let's
put
make the
this
person-
on first, and he hands you a helmet.
Dakin, I want to see you with a strong, shiny new Smith.
So we're gonna put the helmet on deck and we're gonna kind of push him over there. At which point I'm gonna go back to the shopkeep. Like, how much for 2 of those with the rust
Normally,
resistance?
well, the pistols are more expensive with the rust proofing. They're normally 300 gold a piece at that, but I'll knock that off as you're buying 2. It'll set you back 500 gold for a set of 2.
Okay. Plus the fact that he said he would buy us 1, so we're definitely gonna put that on his credit.
Okay.
And so he said he was gonna cover it for us.
Blue
And,
Industries will take care of it.
We will take 2 of those.
I'll add it to their invoice.
Thank you.
Well, excellent. It's just 250 gold.
Okay.
Okay, now, what if on the other side of the glass, I ask him a question because it's on the other side of the glass. Is he really gonna walk in? Isn't he locked in the place there?
Or you can't see him from the inside. You can see the front. You can see out the front entrance. He's off to the side.
Okay.
So, I know I didn't explain that very well. But if you come outside to look for him, you can see him. from the inside, he wouldn't be able. You can't interact with him really because
Is there a way I could use my little dragon claw to like make a circle and then use minor creation to make like a little poking stick and like poke at him through the hole in the window?
the wall is stone and wood, so you could try, but you're not sure how long it would take you to
Oh,
claw
there's no
through.
glass. I thought
No. Out the front, you see the streets, but like to the side where he's at, off to the side where the smithy's part of it is, it's like a side attachment to the building. There's no glass looking out to it.
Okay. So I can make like a really, really long stick. I'm okay.
No,
I'm
you
not
can make
doing
you
that.
could like add the straw into a straw thing and like just reach around in the corner and poke him. Is that what you're gonna say?
Sure, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, you open the door and you guys, while you're talking to him, all of a sudden you hear like clink, 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 and you see Dagon like slowly leaning out like half outside the thing, and you hear like ding 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 ding.
I'm just watching
Ding, ding.
closely.
It stops mid like repetition.
I'm gonna do that.
Hello, my good sir. Do you remember me?
You guys actually see this big, like he was like leaned over an anvil, and like when he just kind of looked up at you guys before, this guy's like 6'4", and he just comes over, and you watch as he does like his hammer spins back up into his arm, and like a hand rotates out.
Oh, he wants to shake your hand, Dakin.
Okay, but then I'm not stupid anymore. I'm gonna ask him.
And he's just standing there looking down at you.
Okay, I'm gonna ask
And
him
the
an actual
stick.
question. I'm gonna
The
be like,
extendo stick.
I'm like, do you happen to know who 12 is? It's a friend I met. Do you know 12?
Blue Industries.
Yes. Do you know 12? Possibly.
No.
No. Do you know Mr. Blue? Everybody knows Mr. Blue, but like, do you know him personally?
No.
No. Who do you know?
I know my work. But I know Ben.
He's dedicated.
I like Ben. He's a cool dude, and I just met him. But yeah, he seems nice.
Can I help you, little one?
Nah, I'm good. Go on, stay, man. It's all good. As I like shove the sticks back in the
At which point, Ponzi's been sitting
He
there.
actually goes. He looks like he's like his face gives no emotion. There is no facial movement. It's like looking into an Iron Man helmet almost. And he reaches into his apron.
Before he does that, though, Ponzi's going to kind of throw his voice and go, "Rust bucket!" and make it sound like it came from Dakin.
I'm gonna point at Dakin.
As he does that, he stops and he looks. He's
Dakin,
I
he
didn't
didn't hear you.
I didn't say anything.
We all heard
make
something.
a persuasion or deception check, whichever you want to go with on this.
I was using minor illusion to create the sound.
Oh dang, 18 again. Okay.
He goes. He slowly scans the street. Not many are kind to me. Not many make an effort to talk. Take this. And he hands you what looks like a little piece of metal that's about 4 inches long.
All right. Grab
And
it.
it's a little like cylindrical, almost like a little metal stick. And he, while you've got it in your hand, he reaches down and he puts his hands over yours, squeezes your fingers on the ends, and he pulls it apart. And it's like one of those extended like batons that you can tap and like show something in a presentation.
Oh.
Or poke a
And then
machine.
he just pat on the top of your head and goes, "Good day," and turns around and heads back to
I look up at him like a proud puppy, and I'm like,
you see him rotate the hammers back out, and
I said, did anybody ever tell you you a beautiful bot, man? I love you.
he turns like, "What was your name?"
Dakin.
"Good.
Yours?
I am Smith."
Locksmith?
"No, like blacksmith,
A blacksmith.
but I'm just Smith."
Smith the second? First?
First of his name.
First of his name. How do you spell it?
Never heard the name before.
You can ask Ben. It's written down inside.
Well, I asked him. He said it was pretty long there, but he maybe just go by SMYTH next time.
At which point, Ponzi's going to come over and be like, "Okay,
You actually like stares at you again and goes, And you watch as like he gets back to the apprentices helping him or whatever over at the thing, and they're like big eyed, like this is the most this guy's ever spoken. Ever. Like,
Leave the nice man alone. Come on.
Dak, and I'm proud of you.
We have a thing to show you.
And he actually, let's see, he spells it 5M1Y7H, which you
does
see on a
sound
little
long.
placard. It says Ben and his Ben and that with a partnership is like you can tell these guys are co-owners in
Yeah.
this place.
Oh, you guys are chill like that. Like you guys work in the building together.
He gave you a Reachy stick.
I don't. As I look over with like the biggest smile on my face, like it actually worked. The straws work, man.
And he's at this point Ben has got in the cases that he like with the padding and the closes down and slides them over to you, one of each.
Okay.
What you got the blue shine? Did you want the the blue handles, or did you like? There's a few color options. There's black, there's white, there's blue, there's gray, and there's like a wood finish.
For Ponzi's one, he's gonna take it just standard, and he'll be back if he decides to change his mind on it. Backing?
I'll just take standard.
Okay. Both blue. So
Are there a lot of people on the street?
at this point, it's still like you left about 5-6 in the morning, so it's still like 6-7 in the morning, somewhere in there. So over here, there's always traffic on the main road coming and going from that entryway, always, unless they shut them. Sorry, unless they actually lock the gate up at night.
So is there like an empty alley right near the?
Oh, definitely. You can duck around behind this place. There's an alley that literally runs all the way back to where you guys were. Like it runs along the inside of the U that is this place.
So, at which point I'm gonna go in the back of the alley with Dakin, and I'm gonna set him what Hansi guesses to be a reasonable distance. He's gonna walk down at the other end of the alley. He's gonna take the hat off and minor illusion an apple on the top of his head and be like, "All right, all right, Dakin, let's see what your skills are with this thing."
All right, I'll try my best.
Hey, remember my friend?
Don't mind me. Don't remind me.
That's just to be careful. That's all. That was just a warning to be careful.
Roll me a dexterity check.
Oh, gosh, dang it.
Yep, that's the same.
Oh, dexterity. Oh, okay. My bad.
Right there.
I know. I was just... Dexterity. No.
You want to click it.
Oh, 7.
7. What's your armor class, Ponzi?
With shield, 18.
The 13 just walking around?
13 walking around, shield with 18.
The to your right, dead center of mass, a bullet.
Ponzi, I'm sorry. You distracted me. As I point over at
That's okay, that's okay. Minor illusions the apple and it pops up on top of his head.
Okay.
And then he takes the gun.
It's only
Well,
fair.
we
Yeah,
each have
trade
one.
places.
Well, yeah, we each have one shot popped on his head, and
But
he's
you fire
gonna
off
make-
the boom, and you see that apprentice come around the corner looking and just shakes their head and goes back around.
That would be an 18 from Ponzi. On
What is
dexterity
your
check.
armor class?
My armor class, where's it at? 14.
Oh yeah, you go right through the illusionary apple and it kind of just ripples and.
Don't worry. See, what we're gonna do is now that we know where we're shooting with that, T-pose fire shot.
Okay. You guys hop up on each other's shoulders. For this one, I needed either an athletics or an acrobatics check.
From each of us?
Yep. This is to maintain your balance.
Now
That's
one.
another 18.
I'm
Okay.
going to tap his shoulder and give him guidance.
Okay, so roll extra d4 on that. It's a nat 1, but it could possibly be better.
D4.
Yeah.
Just to get him out of the nat one. Not that it matters.
Still a 4.
Is that
Yeah.
4? That's not 4, right? That's not.
That's a 6.
That's a 6. Okay.
You can't roll a 6.
Oh gosh.
You can't double stamp or triple stamp.
I can't do
You can't do
it.
Is this 4?
Yeah, there you
So 3 altogether.
go. Okay, 3 altogether.
That's a good try.
Well, there's a net 1, but then I think it was 4, so 6 total, right?
Oh, okay.
Okay. So with the 6, you're gonna fall down. Who was on top?
It's usually
Okay.
I'm
So
on top.
roll me this time. Use one of your ranged weapons. Figure out the attack on this, and you roll me a ranged attack as well.
Range. Where's
So something like that. Yeah, that one's good. Right there.
so +5.
Mhm.
So I rolled D20 +5.
This is adding your proficiency bonus.
Oh wait, I can just do this. 17.
17.
And that was a nat 20 plus proficiency
I
of 2.
didn't do
Yeah,
that.
the floating.
I didn't mean to do that.
There you go. The floating apple. You see it like shwoo, ripple, and another shot like right after goes right through the, like not dead center like this one, but definitely would have took out chunks of it or whatever, and then flying off your shoulders, landing and skidding all the way to the back wall of the blacksmithy. Dakin.
As I wake up, we got like little dragons.
You're like, and you immediately just touch your head just to make sure
Just
everything's
take this-
okay.
Check to make sure your skull's still in there.
As I look like all serious, and it's like
You did a great job. I think you guys are really brave, and this shows a lot of fortitude.
I don't know what he's looking at your dude for, but we'll have to charge him for that later.
yeah, and he's saying it's very 40. I don't know
Yeah,
what that means.
I think that's what he wants to pay for.
40. It's always that. Always 40%.
It's always, yeah. So that's gonna be an extra 40 we're adding to his 10.
But that means he gets 50.
No, we get the 50 of him. We're charging him.
But isn't that half? As all of a sudden, my Dakin just gets like a mega brain blast and just starts like, yeah.
At which point Ponzi's just gonna go onward, and we're gonna make our way to the casino.
Cassius, you know that the tracking device that was on the object located it on the second level
Mhm.
at the grand
Grand
entrance
entrance.
of it, not the first level floor entrance. The grand entrance is more of like a collection that you walk into, like there's a skeleton of an ancient beast of some kind, or at least that's what they say on the placard, and there's little magical like trinkets and knickknacks and artifacts and things like that in different like cases throughout the room. It's a showroom for the fancy and the rich. This is also where you would go to the high rollers tables and for the different like private games and things like that.
Would I have been here before?
You've
Possibly.
heard of it, and I don't know. Would you have done any research in this, like as it for an alias?
I would have probably researched, and I probably would have been invited to some of the parties if there were any in the High Roller area.
Then honestly, yeah, because with your station,
Mhm.
totally a thing that could happen. But you're at the ground entrance at this point.
Mhm.
You guys going in the casino?
So where in this building did you say this item was located? And what item are we looking for?
So it's going to be the grand entrance. As far as what it is, let's see if it's actually there first, and then we'll go from that point on. And it's going to be on the second level.
Okay, how many levels in this building?
This building, I've only been up to 2.
This building has like 9 floors. It is the Nine Lives Casino.
Mhm.
However, the top 4 are on the second level of the city. The city is broken up into many levels. Actually, let me pull up my notes on that because it's a lot easier to just say it from that. Pull that up. Scroll. You've got the highest level, which is level 3. That's the high ground. That's where you've got your uh, the dwarven fortress battlements, the towers, the dragon roost, where the white garrison's located, where the ironclad keep is. The second level is the lord's ledge. That's where you find uh, your noble estates and the wealthy and the fine shops and the galleries and stuff like that. The first level, which is the street level that you guys are familiar with, that's where you have a lot of the marketplaces, and there's temples, and there's inns, and the entertainment district and the red light district. And then like if you go too far around one side, you get into the slums, and you can find the stacks, which is like a pretty amazing arena. There's warehouses and shipyards and all that stuff. There's docks. Uh, yeah.
So, yeah, I believe we're gonna walk in through main entrance.
Yeah.
So before we end up going in there, Ponzi is gonna create 2 pairs of sunglasses to put on for Dakin and Ponzi, and we're just kind of walking very confidently behind him.
Could I like minor illusion a suit on my body, or is that not possible?
Roll me a charisma check or a performance check on this one.
I'm not sure minor illusion will move with him.
This is to see if he can maintain a like more of like changing his coloring and stuff
Mhm.
to see if he can.
16.
Actually, yes. It's not like a full blown disguise, but it definitely makes your stuff look fancier. It's like it's not you're putting on different clothes. You're putting on like the best version of what you could be wearing out of that stuff.
Okay, so what do I look like right now?
What kind of armored stuff are you wearing?
Um, I don't really think I'm wearing anything, aren't I?
That's right on your inventory. What you got?
Looks like leather.
Okay. So you would have like that typically a tan or a dark brown leather suit essentially that you're wearing. But you've got natural scales and stuff too because you're kobold. So would you say it has sleeves?
Sure.
Okay. So you got the long sleeved. Are you wearing gloves or like your fingerless gloves or
I feel like he just have his little clawed hands.
okay? Shoes. You wearing shoes?
I guess like leather shoes with like the claws sticking out. 'Cause
Okay.
it couldn't
Almost
hold-
like straps.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, you're decked out in the leather top with the pants and the strappy shoes and
Yeah, and like what is so the shoes like turn like I guess like black to almost look like more elegant, and then like the leather like turns
everything looks like freshly shined and oiled.
yeah.
Yeah. Your scales, which are what color?
Uh,
It was red.
Red.
Yeah.
Okay. They just give off a little bit of that sheen, like they're freshly
A
waxed.
little shiny.
Yeah. And then he hands you hand me the sunglasses. I just go.
Just
Yeah. And these are actually like they clip on the bridge because there's no real ears to stick to. So like they're like Morpheus glasses where you just and they're like
As I'm not. I try to walk all cool, and like I what is like. Am I walking cool, or is it like look no like
with that charisma check, you look pretty cool.
tell
You
my cobalt ladies out there.
what about you, Ponzi?
Ponzi just gonna keep wearing what he's got on. He's believing he's looking good already.
Living his best life.
Living his best life. Got phone. He was gonna borrow Dakin's Ricci stick though, real quick, and just starts poking him. And okay, we're right. You're supposed to be leading where we're going. We got the style. You're supposed to have the intel. And hands the Ricci stick back to
Just
Dakin.
shove it back in.
Cassie's going to look at both of them and just say, stay close, but stay behind me and try to separate one on either side of me.
You guys make your way into the casino. There, you can tell there's definitely a bouncer outside, decked out in the black on black, and he's also wearing sunglasses. An unusual feature on him is you do see dangling from his ear a little like cat's paw charm, little silver cat's paw charm. You step inside, and now already it's early in the morning. It's loud in here. This is a like old school era Vegas casino. It is bright. It is loud. They've got machines that have like pull handles on the side with like rolling slots that pop up. They've got tables where people are rolling dice. There's multiple different types of card games going on. There's the illusory projections of like different sporting events where things are racing in different areas of the world itself. There's an image that shows the like a top down view of this the fighting area within the stacks, but there's nothing going on right now. It's too early, but it's just like an empty like shot for like the battlefield. There's somebody out there just like breaking the sand.
Okay.
Yeah. And I would say you guys would be looking for more members of security, and you do see them like walking the pits and walking the different the halls of the different games and stuff. But you also see some guarding doorways and things like that that lead off deeper into the casino itself.
Okay.
From here, where is the? I have a GPS in the right, the tracker.
Yeah.
Uh,
You would pull out the little device that you have, which like it folds out and it kind of looks like a. The best way to describe it would be like a clamshell,
Mhm.
but without like the ridges on the outside. It's just like almost a compact.
okay.
And you that would make more sense. Yeah, and you open that up, and as you point it around, there's like a little screen of like black matte material, and it'll flash green. The bottom part of it has to do with whatever device, like that you would take that piece that's attached to that head,
Put it back.
put it back in, and it would close it up to shut it off.
Okay.
But yeah, you like going around, and you can tell it's definitely deeper into the facility, and as you like angle it up a little bit, it flashes again when you go higher.
Okay. So it's confirming that. So I'm gonna look at Ponzi and say it's confirming up. So it
Okay, so-
seems like our intel is on so far.
How do you intend to get us there? Is that somewhere where we can go, or is it something that you're going to need a distraction for?
We're gonna need a distraction for sure.
Excellent. I have an idea. So me and Dakin are gonna slip back down to like the casino area where it's really busy, and before I leave, I'm gonna tell him that you're going to know when it's ready. And so we're gonna go back down into like the middle of the floor, and like Dakin, when this happens,
Oh, it's you two. And you stop, and you recognize this voice, and you turn and you see that woman that you were following yesterday. So,
the cat lady.
yes. She goes, I was hoping you would come back.
I step back so that she doesn't know I'm with them.
Give me a stealth check.
Can I like?
Or a deception.
Could I possibly try to act like I'm not the person she thinks I am? Like I roll deception or
Dirty 20.
or is there nobody?
You feel pretty confident that she's focused on these two.
Okay. At which point Ponzi's gonna go, ah, yes, I believe you did help us get through that security check.
Hello, cat lady.
What can we do for you today?
I'm gonna move as close to where the door is to wherever this is going off.
Yeah, she's like, what? I was told that we lost the opportunity to have you play here at my casino. And here we are, stars on the street, shining brightly right in front of me.
It's your cat lady.
Excellent. If you don't mind, we are going to have a little bit of fun playing at your casino. We did manage to make a little bit of money with our performance, and I would be very glad to talk to you very shortly about such an
Oh,
opportunity.
you're gonna hit the tables.
We were.
Fantastic. You know what? Here you go. And she hands you each 50 gold worth of chips.
Okay.
Go have fun.
And does she kind of leave after that?
Oh yeah, she just smiles and
Okay. So what Ponzi's going to do?
the thing that freaks you out just a smidgy is you've been scanning for security. The whole time you've been here.
Yeah.
All three of you. This lady just walked out of nowhere.
Yeah. So what Ponzi's gonna do is he's gonna hand Dakin the 50 chips that she gave him, and he's gonna say, "All right, what I want you to do is when this goes down, you start running and start throwing those chips on your way out the door." At which point he's gonna go, "Hey, you dirty kobold! What are you stealing my chips for?" He's gonna throw a stool, pull out his gun, and take a shot in the
He's
air.
desk popping. I'm gonna run to the
And that's
closest.
the signal for Dakin to start running and throwing chips.
Guys, watch. As people are like, oh, and, like they're ducked down, and there's some screaming, and like, people are hiding underneath tables.
I'm gonna tell the guard that's close to the door I want to go to. I'm a doctor. Let me know if you need me.
At which
And
point,
send him towards.
well, where you're at,
there's two guards guarding one of the entrance doors. One of them bolts off after in this direction.
Mm-hmm.
You see several of the guards that were walking in the areas, like zooming in that.
am I still within range of where he's at?
Just fine range.
For the fire.
Firearm?
As far as to shoot at him, or is he hurt?
I want to take a shot at the guard that is still there.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't want
the range.
to. I
the
don't
range
want
on
to
the-
try and hit him.
If I remember.
I'm gonna act like I'm terrified and start grabbing the guard like I need him to go in
Yeah,
front of me.
Yeah.
I'm just a doctor. I'm just
Yeah.
a doctor.
Well, I want to make it kind of seem like it's a stray shot, so I get the attention of the guard.
Okay. Are you trying to hit him or hit near him?
Hit near him because I don't want to hit the guard.
Roll me a range attack.
He's shooting at us.
Yeah, I want to make it seem like this is a lot bigger than he
And as
thinks.
that's going down, I'm running away, and I'm like trying to act scared. I'm like, "Oh my god, he's gonna kill me!"
And I'm gonna
Okay,
keep
just
saying to the
walking
guard,
up.
"You need to do something. You need to
22,
go do
22.
something."
Okay, yeah. The first now there's 6 guards chasing in your direction.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're moving or not.
After taking that shot, I'm gonna go chasing after him
Okay.
as he's
So
throwing, and I'm
there's-
tossing chairs as we're going.
It's like watching animals hunt, where you can see some of them coming from the sides. All of them are converging behind you guys, and the guy in the front that's watching the front door comes around from the outside to the inn. And he just bars your way. He's not letting you out. You could try to get around him.
Are there one of the guards? Are one of the guards walking on my side?
Nobody's walking. Everybody's
Well,
running.
running like beside me.
They're if you were here, you have multiples coming in from the side, running straight for you. You have some coming in from this way, they're all coming. They're converging.
Are we near? a
They
bar?
know not to just all chase from a direction. They've done this before.
Are we near a bar?
Yes.
I'm gonna yell to Jack in the head, "Bar, bar, bar!"
So you deviate, take a route 90. Now you're gonna have to dodge past one of the guards to do this. So give me a acrobatics check. This would be either you slide between their legs, or you hop onto a table and run all.
14.
14. Yeah. Yeah, they go to grab you and you just.
And I hop right off the table as I'm
Yeah,
trying to
just-
surprise. I would like to, if I can make a stealth roll to hide in the crowd.
Well, I'm having you jump over the bar because we're gonna do disguise self like we did when we were slipping through the security.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So yeah, you bolt behind the bar. Now you also have that same problem of you have to get through one of the guards to he's gonna try and snap you up.
Yeah.
This one's actually coming at you with some sort of looks like a baton,
Yeah.
but it kind of shimmers with a blue energy.
I'm gonna try to go through that door and say, "You need to get me to safety." If the guard's still there.
Which check was this?
This would be an acrobatics
18.
18. Yeah. He swung at you as you went through. Only hit a 12. So you're a 13, I believe.
I was a 13 on the dice.
So yeah, you just and you hear as it goes over your head "Yee." Oh, not sure what that would have done, but yeah, you're able to dive behind the bar from the side as he went jumps from table to table and just
Knocking things over as he's scrambling
as he goes
across it.
behind the bar. And there's a bartender back there with his head down, wide-eyed, looking at you guys. Cat ears instead of people ears. He's got some very thin. And he's like, "What's going on, meow?"
What's going on
Just
now?
looking at him and then just go,
You hit him?
I want to just knock him right on the side of the head
All right.
with the intention of
All right,
knocking him out.
Well, instinctively you do this motion, but you don't remember you have a pistol in your hand. So just roll me in a
Pistol whipped him.
Yeah.
17.
17. Yeah, you.
Okay, and then you're saying like me and you would then
We're just
transform into him,
using, yep.
and I'd be like meow meow, meow meow.
Disguise self, and we
Meow meow.
took the guns, and we just disguise self as cat people, just in the same kind of uniform that the bartender is, and we just kind of do the same thing. And
The guards, like some are looking over the thing, and they've got at this point they've got these. They look like crossbows, but there's no bow on the front. But they don't look like guns. They do look like there's like a piece of wood hanging up the front of it. They're like some sort of auto crossbow. They're like looking around the thing. A couple of them come around the side with they're like, where do they go?
Ponzi's gonna be holding the bartender, and yeah, with him at the same time they went that way, pointing towards the door. While you guys were looking, they slipped underneath the tables.
Give me a deception check with advantage, or both of you can roll and use your highest modifier.
While are they all looking at him? Is anybody looking at me?
Meanwhile,
Yeah. Okay.
back to you.
What'd you get?
Everybody seems to be focused on this. Give me a stealth check. This would be a stealth check
nat
to
20.
slip in, like pop the door open and roll through.
It was in that 20.
Nat 20.
14.
Yeah, they're like, one of them's like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, we're good, sir, meow.
All right. And then like all of them like take off down the deeper, like headed back towards the entrance.
Okay.
Once they see him out of earshot, they're like, "That was a good improv with the meowing. We'll have to remember that one later."
Meow.
You hear it from, like beneath you. You hear meow meow my head.
As you piss, as I then I'll pistol whip his head.
Oh,
This guy's gonna be brain dead. You're gonna have to take over his shift for real.
I am holding.
Oh,
I am holding him, so it's probably.
So does that have an advantage because he's holding?
so bad.
Stay down this time. Just stay down.
They're still breathing, but like it's like gurgle, gurgle.
Just stay down this time.
They're not moving. They're quiet, and their eyes are closed.
Can I check to see what he has on him while he's out?
Yeah, make an investigation check.
I love it.
Oh, oh my starving garters.
18.
18. Yes. Yeah. Hold on. You find 10 gold. You find.
All his tips.
I would like to also
There's
take his clothes.
There are some addresses written on slips that seem like they have second level addresses on them.
I'll also like to take his clothes.
You're gonna take his clothes.
What does he look like underneath his
Very human, but there's like little tufts of fur on the elbows and knees, and along like the sideburns come down, and like instead of going down the jawline, they curve back around the ear.
Ponzi's gonna tuck all that
And
into.
they do not have ears; they have cat ears on top there.
Ponzi's gonna tuck all that
And
up into the
there
hat.
is a furry tail. It's a black tail.
I'm just gonna tuck all that back up into the hat, and we're gonna kind of stand up and try and nonchalantly start moving and making
Now,
our way.
are you guys gonna do the thing where you like stack and then merge the disguise to be one entity, or are you gonna try and stay the small that you are but look medium?
I would say small that we are, but look medium, because we're gonna try and see. Do I think it would be better to try and make it out the door or get back to him?
That's a question actually you should answer. Do you think that he's in there gathering intelligence, or do you think he's actually going to try and go steal a thing?
From last I heard, from what he told me, he sounded like he was gonna go up there and take it.
Okay.
So I would say then we would make the attempt to follow him, and then just as we get out of line of sight, we'll drop the disguise and act like we ran this way to get away from whatever was happening out there.
If you drop the disguises, you're going to look like the guys that were firing guns and chasing each other in this place.
We'll keep the cat then.
Okay,
We'll act like we kind of ran that way to get away from
gotcha.
where we were going.
Well, I guess we could look at some.
No, when you get to one of these like double swinging doors,
Older cats.
and like there's a guard at this one. This is not the same one he went to. This is the one that's closest to the bar.
Yeah.
And as you get close, one of the guards like actually opens the door and like gestures for you to go in.
And we're gonna try and kind of act panicked and try and just
He's
go
like,
in.
Wait in the break room. We'll let you know when it's clear.
Thank you. I don't know what's going on out there. All hell broke loose. I heard
Somebody gave a gnome a gun.
and I heard some dirty kobold was running around.
Yeah, meow.
Not us.
I don't understand. We spray for those.
Not us cats. 100% cats here.
We're totally cats. Meow, 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 meow.
As we just
He
kind
kind
of
of like looks like, okay.
and we just kind of slip into the break room.
Yeah, you just head in that way. This hallway, everything on the other side was bright, colorful, just loud, lit up, just flashy lights. We're talking like old school Vegas, just like big bulb lights that are doing all this stuff and stupid loud, trying to bring up the excitement level in the place. Both sets of you would see when you go into your area that the walls are stark and bare and like brick, like big brick, which you're not familiar with, but like in the real world, you recognize concrete block walls that are just painted over with this awful off-white, like that's for some reason the cheapest thing everybody was
like
wearing.
a high school.
But you guys see this one goes into an area where there's like this is going to take you into like back behind the performance stage. This is going to take you into the employee break area. This is going to take you into the locker room, in that direction. And it may or may not cross over with the hall that he's in, but you don't know at this particular point.
I would say
However, we're going to go a little bit into what you saw so far.
we're gonna head over to the break room, get ourselves a nice, refreshing drink.
You slip in. There's nobody there on the hallway on the other side when you get there.
Okay. Nothing, no surveillance, anything along those lines that I could see of.
You don't see any cameras or anything that you've recognized from like Blue Industries as like a surveillance device.
Mhm.
So you're like, instinctually, just like either this is really good or it's really sloppy.
Would I have noticed which one of the guards was in charge?
Nobody seemed like they were calling the shots, but every single one of them you saw touch their ear where that charm is, and then move. So you could probably guess that they're getting communications
Okay.
from whoever is in charge.
Okay.
As you kind of make your way down that hall, are you still looking like you?
That's why I was going. That's why I was going this way. I would like to turn into one of the guards.
You've seen several.
Mhm.
So you could either pick like one of the ones you've
One
seen,
of the ones that was at the door.
or you can make yourself look like a composite.
Yeah, composite.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't want
Give me
anybody
a
to
quick little rundown of what. I mean, they all wear the same black suits. I mean, they look like gangsters. You know what I mean? They look like gangster bouncers.
Yeah. Well, I have fine clothing. I mean, it wasn't like tactical gear that they were wearing, right?
No.
Okay,
Everybody
okay.
looked like they're in suits.
Okay, yeah. So I have a suit on. That'll stay fairly the same, and I will change everything about me. I will turn into another person. It will be like wisps of smoke that overtake my body and then just recede away, and then I'm that person.
The pain of that kind of ripples through you as you do it. This is not like how it used to be.
It's almost like my skin is removed and you see my muscles underneath, and then it reforms.
Yeah, it's this
Yeah.
excruciating process that you have come to savor and enjoy as these things happen. You're like, and you now appear as this amalgam. How do you wish to proceed?
I'm going to first look for signs and see if I can see anything that has to do with surveillance, maps, anything along the lines of museum, showroom.
You immediately get into an area where like there's like a little small stairway that goes up And it says observation deck, which you didn't see anywhere where somebody would observe from, but maybe they have a way of looking down onto that casino without you looking at them. But then you can see a little farther down, there's several like looks like offices that are closed, like closed doors or whatever, and it says like um, one of them says Ken on like the front of the door, and it's closed. Another one says just security details and just general purpose. You could tell like this is like maybe like a where they would go to file their paperwork.
Okay.
But if they don't have an office.
Yeah.
But then you continue down and you can see like several interrogation rooms that you can see into from the hallway. But they're like the police style ones where you can they have the
Double glass.
the double glass. So you can see there's like the chicken wire looking glass, and you're like, okay, this is impressive for
casino.
Yeah. And at this point, you do see somebody quickly walking down the hall. Dark, hold back hair in like a top knot, black suit, very akin to the other one. But the way he's moving, you can tell that there's armor underneath. But it's like the suit is cut to hide the fact that this guy's got weapons and armor underneath this, and he's striding with the confidence that you've seen capable individuals have.
Got it.
And he's got this look on his face of like, I'm in the middle of something and I don't want to deal with this. And he's just looking straight back, and he's like, did you come from the floor?
Yeah, they're gonna need way more than we have.
What happened?
I don't even know. Somebody started to shoot. There was a fight. It was like a gnome. There was a kobold. I don't even know. I don't think I'm cut out for this.
There was a kobold with a gun?
Somebody gave a kobold and a gnome a gun. I don't know who would do that, but they had them. They fired up in the air. They beat a bartender over the head. And then all I saw was them run out the door, and the leftover bartenders ran and went into the break room. We have people stationed right now making sure that they're good. And then once it's clear, we'll get out and sort of try to return to normal. But I just don't know. I don't think I could do this, man.
What's your name?
I'm Jim. This is like my third day, and I am not for this.
Roll a deception check.
I am not for it, man.
Jim, come with me. We're gonna go look at the observation.
Okay. All right.
And he just puts a hand on your shoulder and kind of turns you around in the hall. Do you resist?
No.
Yeah. And then he'll let go and just walk with you a step ahead of him, and him just back to the right.
Okay.
And you head back to that same stairwell that leads up to the observation deck. And you look down and you can see that Catwoman that was interacting with them is looking down, and she's just like chuckling to herself, like, look at them. And you can see from this perspective, she can see like over the bar and the sides and like above and like all of like the whole area all at once. Like you can look down and see everything that's going on. So you could see like there's an unconscious person behind the bar. You can see all like a bunch of the security headed out towards the.
Would Blue Industries have anything to do with this place?
Not a bit. They actually do not like each other.
I want to make sure.
They do not get along. Not like openly hostile, but they did steal something from Blue Industries just last night. So
yeah, okay. I'm just following. I'm just going.
Which I'll actually say you find is a little odd because from what you understand, this woman that you're seeing is a cartel leader known as Zimnia, and she is the head of the Black Hand, she's the cartel leader of assassins. Not thieves. There's a whole different faction for that. Yeah. The fact that they went and stole something is just like
assassins. That's
weird.
Odd.
And specifically that they targeted something that was supposed to be shipped to Blue Industries, also weird. So there may be more here you could uncover than just recovering a head.
Okay. I'm being completely compliant with this guy.
No, he's just gestures to go stand over by the wall. He's just kobold and a gnome. She's like, oh, entertaining. They're very entertaining. I do not know why we didn't hire these guys. This place would be a riot every day. He shakes his head.
I'm gonna lean against the wall and slide down like I'm gonna have a panic attack.
This is 2 days in a row that we've seen these individuals come into this place. After what happened last night, do you think there's a connection? She just goes, and she just smiles like this coy grin. She turns slowly and looks at Jim. He goes, new?
3 days.
Interesting. Does your earpiece not work?
I don't have an earpiece. It got ripped out during this whole kerfuffle.
Roll me deception.
15.
Okay. That's unfortunate. She takes a charm off of her bracelet and throws it to you.
I'll catch it like all like
Mhm.
discombobulated like and I'll shake as I put it up back onto my ear.
Not every day people come in here shooting the place up. But I did kind of expect something. So you go back to your post, wherever that's supposed to be.
Upstairs.
Oh, there are new people upstairs already. She just slowly looks over to the individual who walked you down the hall. She goes, Ken, is that true? And he's like, must be. Guy doesn't seem like a liar. Oh, good.
Felt like you'd have like.
She just.
I was
she
still
goes,
nervous.
She goes, go ahead. It's okay. I know it's tough to be around the bosses.
Yes, ma'am.
You hear a click of metal as you see. You didn't even see this. It looks like a katana that was underneath the guy's like jacket fold.
He was readying
Click
it.
back into place.
I'm gonna get up, turn, fumble out the door, and just go confidently.
Okay, you head back down the hall. Are you heading towards the casino, or are you headed deeper into the place?
Deeper into the place. Did I notice anything? I didn't know. I was gonna roll a check to see inside the room that they were in if I noticed anything helpful.
Roll me if you're looking. That's a tough one.
I'm looking
Let's say, is it
for.
an investigation or a perception check? 'Cause
Are there
that's what-
cameras or was it actual physical observation? Like
It looks like there's like a panel on the wall that's like at a 30-degree angle that she's looking down at, but it doesn't make sense physically that you should be able to see everything from this perspective. So there's definitely some sort of magic involved.
arcane something
Yes.
or other.
But like each of the panels, the way they're laid out, she can see the entire.
Would I
Scene.
have noticed a roster of guards that are working or a visual of where guards are?
Ooh, actually, okay, that would be a perception check. You're trying to pick up that kind of detail.
24.
24. Ooh, good. You would have seen a small map that has like 1 through 9 on the posting. This one actually says the highest floor on it, and it's like multiple sheets deep, so you wouldn't see anything other than the 9th floor. The 9th floor is the penthouse. It is the 7th. No, sorry. It is the 6th floor that is the one that has the grand entrance or the great entrance.
Yeah, grand entrance.
Grand entrance. But on the 9th floor, there's a little notation saying VIP on one of the rooms, and then across from it, there's just a little, like, it looks like a little, somebody sketched out a little, like, hand, like a stick figure hand, literally across the door from that.
Okay.
That kind of stands out as unusual, but as far as guards, you can definitely tell there's at least 3 on every floor pretty much all the time, which seems excessive for a hotel, even a hotel casino. So Question mark?
I didn't catch that guy's name though, right?
The guy she talked to,
Mm-hmm.
his name was Ken.
Ken. Okay, that was Ken then. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna walk out down the hallway. I'm going to continue on, and I'm going to look for the stairwell, lift, whatever I can in order to continue upward.
There is like a freight elevator. It can take you up through the employee side.
Okay.
Did you want to use that?
I do, and when I'm on it, I want
It's
to.
one of those ones where you have to like
Yeah,
open the
yeah.
things.
I do, and I want to turn into Ken
You
and head straight up to.
you step in the elevator and and you turn around just with a smile on your face with his on his face. You quickly squash because you never smile.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Is it rattle? All right. Meanwhile,
We were heading over to the break room to get a well-deserved
Yeah,
drink for
yeah.
our fine performance.
sitting in the break room with the auto music playing in the background.
Now,
Like
do they have
there's
something-
literally like a little auto gnome, like a mechanical gnome in the background, who's got like a thing on his chest that you guys have spun over and over again. That every time you spin it, he just like a music box goes cling 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 cling.
So-
You're pretty
Now,
sure you
do
recognize
they-
the tune, but you can't quite place it.
That is true. Do they have something equivalent to coffee in there?
Oh, definitely. Coffee exists in this world.
Dakin, I have an idea. And we're going to start brewing the biggest pot of coffee, and I'm going to just have him drink as much as possible. Just sitting there going, chug, 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 as I'm brewing the
And
next.
I go like, okay, sir.
Give me a Constitution
His anxiety's
saving
gonna be
throw
through the
in
roof.
order to just maintain this flow of
Next-
coffee.
You're gonna Maxwell
If
House
that's-
it.
Dexterity saving. All right. Not 20, 25.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
you're just pounding this coffee like it's nothing.
Now, from his perspective, does it appear like we've all kind of slowed down a little bit?
He's hasted.
He's haste.
It's not. It's not the time slows down. It's just all of a sudden like you don't have a lot of ideas, but you start to pick up on things like your vision pops around the room and you start looking at details.
Like Rain Man.
Like you're just like, but you're like, cabinet, this, that, dude, gnome, auto gnome, no.
At which point, we're going to hop up and we're going to again do the over the shoulders thing still as the cat people. And we're just going to go walking down the hallway as he's just looking everywhere and be like,
Are you two cat people now on each other's
we
shoulders?
still kept we still
Okay.
keeping the disguise up right now.
Okay.
And I'm like, all right, Dakin, let me
So
know when you.
what ends up happening is because the one will be on it would either look like they're riding on like their like piggyback, not shoulders because
Yeah.
you're only so tall.
Yeah.
Or it would look like the person on the bottom is like on their hands, like squatting and like doing squat walks.
I would say piggyback is what we're gonna
Okay.
go for, and like, Dakin, let me know when you notice something of interest.
Okay.
As he's
I'm gonna say this is gonna give you advantage on your perception checks for the next minute. At least well, for the foreseeable future. We'll go for that far. And then minute's quite long enough. I know coffee. And there might be a side effect afterwards, but we'll see.
I'm willing to accept that.
It's okay, I'm a doctor.
Okay, so can I roll perception to see if there's any like person nearby?
Roll me a perception check with advantage.
As we're just kind of making our way down the hall, piggyback style. And if anybody does look, Ponzi's just gonna go, first time coffee.
12.
12 with advantage?
Yep.
Ooh, okay. And like even through the disguise, the eyes on the cat person's like huge, like tiny little pupils. Just like, and you say the coffee line to a couple of people who are decked out in like costumes, like they're gonna go perform, and they're like, right, coffee. You two have fun, and like,
And like he like accidentally snorts. So he's like, yeah.
did you guys make your way down that hall? You can tell there's like a T intersection that you're coming to, where you're coming up, and there's gonna be a hallway that runs sideways, like perpendicular to.
Okay. And it just all looks like the flat walls.
Yeah, this all looks like the awful painted stone bricking.
So Ponzi's just gonna look at Deck and be like, just like when we first got here, always go right.
Okay.
Since that's where we found Mr. Bordeaux's bar over there. So we're gonna turn right and we're just gonna start heading down that hallway.
Heading the right way. You make your way that way, and you find yourselves shortly after behind the stage area, where you can see like the pulleys and the ropes and that stuff. People moving different uh, like props and stage components, maneuvering these crystals. Like they look like lanterns, but they're focused and flared out in a direction. Like I haven't seen them like that before. It's kind of neat. Kind of look like old-fashioned stage lights. And yeah, and the people look like crew people, and a couple of them like kind of look at you guys confused, like what bartenders are back here.
Oh,
But-
Well, at which point, just gonna be like, sorry, we're kind of lost, and I'm gonna try and duck behind some of the props, and then we'll probably drop our disguise since it's kind of
well, I mean, no, because
bartenders shouldn't be back here.
but they would still recognize. Oh, so.
Well, we're ducked behind something right now, so we can
Oh,
probably.
okay. So we're well. Maybe we should turn to one of the stage people, or because now we've seen them. So I mean, we can do that.
Okay, so you're gonna do that. I'm gonna turn back into how Ponzi normally looks, but I'm gonna try and hide inside of some of the stage props.
Okay. Yeah, you would find like the a helmet that's used in like a nautical costume. It's got the little brass fittings and everything.
Yeah, so I'm gonna kind of duck
up
into
under
that. Yeah.
Oh, if you're ducked into that, I mean, I could also like since now I'm the stage person, I could be like, oh, I got this thing, like, and I like try to bring it to the other side, or
Find like a cart to roll it on.
yeah, be like, oh, it's
Yeah,
rough
definitely.
there, rough.
There's a couple of like small push carts, and there's definitely like the dollies.
Okay, at that point too, he'll probably grab the cart. And is the helmet just big enough to where I can kind of like pick it up and walk with it?
Yeah. This is like an oversized theatrical version
Yeah.
of one of these things.
So
it's
basically,
it's got to be big enough to be seen from the cheap seats.
I'm gonna kind of lift up with it a little bit and start walking over to the cart with it and try and hop up onto it.
Yeah. Pop up on there, no problem.
Yeah, and so I
The
go,
two of you working together.
and I tell them I'm like, and I just roll it, and I'm like,
Where are you guys headed?
I guess the other side of the stage, I guess, because that would make
All the way
deeper,
across?
maybe.
Okay.
But it looks
Um,
like deeper. Got
yeah.
like a perception of
You-
what would be deeper, or
Definitely deeper, like away from the way you came.
Uh,
You know what I mean? Deeper past into this part of the stage, across the sides.
oh my.
And
But yeah,
as he's going down the hallway, if we're facing forward, I don't see anybody in front of us, right?
you do see people like constantly walking back and forth, carrying things or like adjusting stuff or whatnot. So I'm gonna need from you, 'cause you're hidden, a deception or a performance check.
8.
8.
Yeah.
Nobody seems to care. Everybody's kind of just doing their own thing, and they've got a job to do. You look like you're doing something, so they just,
What do
they
they
just
look like? Are they cat people or they're not?
No, the people back here, you see a couple of different types. You see a lot of humans, right? There's a couple of dwarves. There's a big burly orc, but he's like got bright pink hair, and he's just like, no, this goes over here, and that goes there. What are you doing?
From the helmet, just real quick. Yeah, kind of like that guy's style.
Bang, really.
And you could like they're wearing like a white blouse and like really tight fitting like pink leopard skin pants.
Nothing out of the usual.
They turn and see you guys walking, and they go, "That's not going to be needed till this afternoon. Keep going, keep going.
Yes.
Let's go." They quickly turn and start yelling at somebody.
And he's like, yeah, go ahead and saunter on through.
Oh wait, as I go past them though, can I slide a hand to see if they have something on
You're
them?
not next to them. You'd have to step over to them to do this, which you could try. You can certainly try.
Do I get the intention that he wants to do that?
You would know him pretty well.
Okay, so as we are going past there, what I would like to do is brace myself inside of the helmet and tip over slightly so that I fall so that he has to come by
You're
him.
going
He
like
directs
that.
us.
That's
Okay.
great.
Oh, well,
Actually, then give me a dexterity saving throw. See if you can catch the helmet for the full.
Well, I'd like to make it so that I'm putting him near.
16?
Oh, okay, to pull that way.
Yeah, because you said he has to get
Gotcha.
near him, and
So,
if we're going
No,
by
with
him.
that you correct the cart and grab the side of it so that you almost stumble into them.
Yeah, but as I'm trying to grab out, like slightly like rub to see if I feel anything. Like,
Roll a sleight of hand check.
items. Okay, there goes nothing.
Please be in that.
In their skin tight leopard pants.
It's a nap.
Is it really?
It was
That's
a nap one.
incredible.
No, it was plus
You do
5
that,
though. It's a
they
six.
start to walk off, and you just
Just grab a handful of crotch.
well, they're turned away from you, and you're reaching for a pocket and miss. What do you think happens?
Yeah.
How do you fail this?
So I like slightly like I slide my hand on their body and I'm like, oh sorry, I tripped. My bad. Sorry, I'm clumsy. Sorry.
Yeah, you touch you gently caress their back, and go, and say, I'm sorry, and they turn back and like, you trying to get promoted? Go, go, go.
I'm in.
Make it across the stage area, and you can see there is a freight elevator on this side, along with a bunch like access to a storage area for props and things like that.
So at this point, what we probably can do is we can go ahead and drop your disguise, and we could both probably fit under the helmet, right? Being the smaller.
You're both tiny, yeah.
So
You're not tiny, but you're little.
So yeah, I'll like go down and I'll slither underneath the car.
and we're gonna just like with the helmet slowly kind of sneak through this just as a prop. If we think somebody's coming, we just kind of stop.
It's Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah,
Kinda like a box.
Are you going into the storage area?
You said
Because you've got across the back of the stage, and
Yeah.
there's entranceway into like a storage area, and just to the side of that is the elevator lift entrance.
We're gonna kind of like still use the helmet to sneak towards the elevator, and then once we get there, just kind of sneak from the helmet into the elevator.
Both of you give me stealth checks with advantage.
Yep.
Nice. Dirty 20s?
30, 20.
30 20s, nice. There's a few times that somebody's walking, but they're like looking out like a different direction, and you just drop and then pop back in, drop and then pop back in. No incident. You're inside the elevator. You just have to shut this noisy thing and activate it if you want to go up.
Yep. And so yeah, that's what we'll do is we'll kind of just close it, and then
Nobody seems to notice. A hair.
yeah.
Great.
At which
That
point,
thing gets open and shut all day.
Actors.
Dak, can use your reachy stick. Pick a button.
That's all I just have. I
Yeah, you
just
got it.
stick it out of the pocket and just try to press.
Now you gotta add a Reachy stick to his
Oh,
inventory.
How many buttons are there? Which buttons say what?
This lift has 10 buttons. You're currently on like where one of the buttons would be. It is just like a metal plate, and it's the floor you're on. There's one below you. There's 8 above you.
No, we were only told up. So
I roll a d10.
I would say he did say there's the 6th floor is the grand entrance level.
Okay, so I'll try to aim for
But I don't know if you told them that's where you were going.
I said
he
where
did.
it's located.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just kind of told us it was.
Yeah, so I'm just aiming for 6 with the pointy stick.
You roll me a d20. Don't roll one.
It's gonna happen. Okay.
Okay.
4.
Yeah. So it takes a few taps, but you're able to hit the button.
I make that noise as I'm like, come on. And
You'll
then
get
you
it
cheer me on.
eventually. Yeah,
You cheer
I
me on.
believe in you.
Oh, thank you, buddy.
And you're able to hit the button. You're, meanwhile, your elevator opens.
I'm gonna look before I step out. Do I see anything?
The employee area halls in this area, all of them are done up in a black instead of a white paint. And every once in a while, you see like a fancy lighting fixture that's affixed to the thing. There's a wallpapering done over whatever material these walls up here are made out of. This looks nicer. It's just overall higher quality. There's like molding and trim and everything. It looks fancy.
No signs or anywhere to guide me where to go. I mean, I'm gonna pull my
when you
compact out and look.
when you step out, the compact is like immediately flares straight forward. There is no way to go straight forward. It's a hallway, but you feel like if you were go either left or right at this point, you can find a way to head in deeper into the place.
I'm gonna go left.
You do find it like you're looking for signs. And you're like, are there any signs? And you're like, maybe because they expect people to know where they're going if they're back here, and if they're not, it's intentionally difficult to.
Right. I'm gonna turn left, and I'm gonna walk confidently because I'm just gonna
Roll me
walk like I'm
a performance
on a
or a
mission.
deception check, whichever one, to kind of like imitate what you saw him do.
5.
Okay. You have advantage, right?
That was with advantage.
Oh God, ours. Oh yeah. You're not used to being this type of person.
Okay.
You don't feel comfortable in this skin. You feel like just looking like him might be enough, but you don't feel.
I'm gonna realize that, and I am going to change out of that, and I'm going to change back into myself and just be fancy. No deception. Just I'm gonna be me.
Okay. Yeah. Do you go left or right?
Left.
Okay. You make your way down the hall. You come to a point where you can either continue to go straight or you can go right. So far, you've seen no rooms.
Okay, I'm gonna turn right.
You cut right, and then down this one you see a couple of doors, and then there's a set of double swinging doors. But these ones are much fancier than the ones you saw in the
Doors don't say anything on the side before I get to that one.
No. There's all of the doors.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell like they have the old school like big bulky doorknob with like a lock that's like a big
skeleton
ass key.
type deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there are no signs of anything.
Can I take? I've not seen any people yet. I would like to look through the keyholes real quick. Sure. Just a quick peek
Absolutely.
To see.
Give me a perception check. This is for there's a left door and a right door. We're looking at the right door first.
Okay. 16.
16. You look into there, and there's a lot of what looks to be shelves with like a cleaning cart and like cleaning
Janitor's
materials and like paper things. Yeah, in that one.
Okay.
Quick look in the other one. Give me another perception check.
Yep. Ooh. 6.
Lights are off.
Yeah.
Can't tell.
Okay.
Do you have dark vision?
Yes.
Then you would be able to see just a little bit with looks like a desk corner, and then the rest just goes too much into the darkness.
Okay. My third was in that 20. Bring me to 25.
Right. This one's would be for you to peek out that door before like really opening it, and that looks like it's opening into like a stairwell that wraps down like a grand staircase down, and directly across with that 20 you can see like the skeletal remains of like a some sort of giant monstrous beast looking thing.
Okay.
You would be, if you're looking at the map over here,
Mm-hmm.
see where the stairs are
Yep.
here? You're right here.
Got it. Okay. I
And I'll
am.
actually give you a free check on the compass.
Yeah.
And it is rattling, like it not rattling. Sorry, it's not just flashing the once; it's flashing twice, showing that like
I'm on top of it.
that it's in this room.
Yeah. Okay.
And just at a quick glance, you can see there's a guard directly across outside, like because that door across, like, sorry, not sorry.
So I'm over there.
Yeah, sorry, I misspoke. Those two doors
Mm-hmm.
are like overhang, old school awning entrances or whatever, and there's a guard on both sides.
Leading to outside.
Mhm. This is the grand entrance.
I would like to lean over the balcony there and just see if I can see the item that I'm looking for.
Sure. You step out, lean down, look over the balcony. The guards are looking towards the street. They got their
Mhm.
backs to you. You actually don't see anybody else around, which you would think is strange, but it's like 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So maybe not that strange. Give me a. This is actually an investigation check.
18.
18. You're looking around the the displays, and directly underneath you, in this case right here,
Mm-hmm.
is a vase. It looks like it's just big enough to hold that head that you're looking for.
Okay. Um,
And a little quick check with the compass, and it seems like it's given
right
off like
there.
that's probably where it's at. Meanwhile, it opens up. Um, Again, similar description of what I described for the hall for him. You see walking down this corridor, um, people that look like they're built like the bouncers that you saw downstairs, but they've got like robes on, and like they're heading your way, like they're gonna pass you.
Um,
You see a good three of them, just solid dudes headed this way.
I guess we go in like the hallway and we just.
what I'd like to do is have you behind me, and I'm going to do a small minor illusion of a clipboard and hand it to you, as Ponzi's going to be looking, going, all right, we do have some structural damage right up here. If you can take some notes with that, make sure
And you're
we have
still
that for the
looking like you're
renovations.
a stagehand,
Yeah, because
Yes.
Yeah.
which
So,
pass off for them.
yeah,
So roll me a deception check, both of you, and keep the highest result.
oh, I hit the wrong one. Sorry. Wrong one. That would have been nice if it was actually deception.
it was 17 for me.
Not 20.
One of them walks past you, doesn't really care. Second one walks past you, doesn't really care. Third one walks past you and it stops. Slowly turns around and says in a language you don't understand.
Fonzie's not even going to think he's talking to him, as he's kind of just inspecting it up and down the wall, kind of pointing at
Yeah.
things, still talking as we're moving down.
Yeah, with him, I just keep walking with him as I'm pointing at the balls. So like,
His eyes kind of squint and he goes, "Who are you?"
Fonzie's gonna turn. Oh, sorry. Subcontractors. We were just recently told to come back in that there was going to be a little bit of structural damage due to some storms that had recently passed through. And we do see some water leakage that's going to lead to a lot of myceliums. You do not want myceliums this time of year. Um, you do not even want to know the cost that it's going to be to get rid of these things. Once they get into the foundation,
He's just gonna bore him with conversation until he
roll
leaves.
me a deception check with advantage.
Love it.
both 17s.
He just kind of like shakes his head, goes, no. It just turns, walks away, rejoining the other two.
See, I'm telling you, just like I told you, as soon as you get the myconids in here, the myceliums, the myconids, the mushrooms, you great for stew, very bad for
You would
business.
actually catch them going into one of the doors.
Yeah.
This one doesn't have any kind of key or anything, or it's just like a push open door. It swings open and you can see like steam coming out of the room that they're going into.
Now, they all looked organic?
Yeah, all of them looked like, all three of them were human, dark hair, very similar features that you would have. Nope, that was him.
Yeah.
Dark hair, slightly tilted eyes, not a lot of facial hair, not a lot of like. They were like muscular and lean, but like.
So, Ponzi would basically think they're just in the middle of one of their cuts, and this is just part of their routine. They're going in to drop some water weight, and he's going to continue moving down the hall.
Yeah, so, and then what I do is I minor illusion a pencil, and I go like,
You you get to the point where there's a T in the hall where you can take a right or keep going straight.
Well, we went right last time. What do you think, Dockin?
I say we always go right, because right is always right.
Right you are.
You go right. There's two doors, and then a nice swinging door, like double swinging door. One on each side of the hallway, and
then one in the middle. The swing doors are full doors.
The two on the sides look like they're almost like you think of like food service stores,
Okay.
like almost like corral doors.
Yeah, that's what.
And they are like all the way to the floor, except for like a little bit of a gap at the bottom and the top. And there's like a little like sheet of like glass maybe, in like the like you can look through. The other one that goes directly forward, fancy, super fancy. Looks like the double doors from downstairs, but nicer. That led you into this part of the place. But there is no window there.
I would say Fonzie's going to look at Dak and look at all three doors and be like, just like I said, straight to the top. We are going fancy.
Yeah. I say go right. I shall walk right.
You step through one of the double doors into what looks like a kitchen. And yeah, there's
Is there cooks in there?
definitely.
Oh.
Yeah, you can see there's a bugbear, and they're just like they got like these gloves that go all the way up to their elbows, covering up their hairy bits as they're just like working and kneading some dough. There's a hippo-looking person who's over there just like ladling some stuff in like one of the pots, and you can see like just behind them a little bit there is looks like a small person that looks like a rabbit that's like working on salads.
Of course. All right.
So-
Looks like they're setting up like the brunch or the pre-lunch rush.
So basically, Ponzi's going to walk in and be like, all right, Dakin, we had already seen the mycelium infestation in the hallway. Health inspector here, were you all aware that you have myconids?
The rabbit looks over you and goes, "Who are you again?"
Health inspection.
As my sunglasses turn to actual glasses, and I'm like, this is not right.
Roll a deception check.
Bob, all of us, or
Just him for this.
Loving that 15 tonight, so 17.
Squint says, "What are you needing to inspect?"
health.
We just recently had a contractor come through, said that you have
My
a
job.
fungus mycelium infestation out there in the hallways due to recent water damage?
They like stomp their foot and they like tut, 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 tut. There is only the mushrooms I bring in here.
Not out in that hallway. Have you seen that hallway?
That hallway doesn't matter.
Well, that's why we are here to make sure that they have not reached this part. So if you could let us take a
Make
look
a
around.
dexterity saving throw. A ladle comes flying through the air.
Oh,
And it's going to clock me right in the head.
What would you roll?
That's fine.
That was a 2 plus a 3. So a 5.
You take 4 bludgeoning damage. As she's
Dung.
as this rabbit starts screaming, "Get it out!"
Right you are.
Wait,
As
can I
he's
try to block? Maybe I can try to block. Can I try to grab it? Let me see if I can try to grab the ladle before he gets clocked in the head.
Roll me an initiative check versus this rabbit to see if you're able to move him out
to
of the way.
beat.
so you have to move quick.
The rabbits
Rabbits are
plus
quick.
5.
Yeah, rabbits are fast.
Okay, so
Harrigan?
initiative
I've
check.
got a total of 12. So roll initiative.
Initiative. Okay. 14.
I got a 12. So you got it. So you don't take that 4 damage. So take that back.
Okay.
As a unexpected bit of alacrity, just Daka just grabs it.
And then what I do is I go up to the rabbit, I start smacking around him, and I'm like, see, this is your problem, Mr. Rabbit.
You approach the rabbit.
Yeah, I approach the rabbit.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
doing that, Fonzie's just going to kind of grab and be like, right you are, and we're going to take that ladle, and Lord help you if we find myceliums on here. As we kind of march right back out.
As I grab like a little like telescope, well, like there is some on here. I see it.
Your supervisor will hear about this as we leave, and we're going to go to the
You hear
right
like the
door.
low rumbling from the hippo person laughing.
As we go to the right door like you wanted.
Well, that was the right door.
That was the
The
right
next
door.
right door, I
Okay.
guess, would be like the straight ahead door.
Yeah.
Yeah, you step out, and you guys actually come out now. If you look, there's another doorway right here on this part of the map,
Yeah.
and right across, like when it swings open, you can see
So they're down.
giant
They're
set of
below me.
bones. Yeah.
Do I see
Now-
them?
All 3 of you make perception checks, and then whatever guy's stealth check is, just add like whatever the modifier is, add 10, and tell me the total on that.
6 perception, and you said, I'm sorry, what did you say
Whatever.
about
What's
stealth?
your stealth normally? Like your roll, like just a plus bonus.
a
2. So what you got?
I had 11 perception, and I've got a 5 for stealth.
Very 19.
Other perception. You notice him up there. You do not. What's your stealth base?
Plus 5.
Plus 5. Did you beat a 15?
No.
Then you didn't notice them opening the door and peeking in. You didn't see it. You're like, ooh, big skeletons, and you're like, hey, there's the guy. As he's like
Oh, yeah,
leaning
so
over the rail.
So I tap Ponzi, and I'm like, Ponzi,
What you got?
it's the scary guy with the dragon skeleton. He's been helping us, you know.
Did I look over?
And at this point, yeah, it's pretty obvious.
I'm like, and I'm gonna point directly below me,
Oh wait,
and I'm gonna do.
Am I still the stage hand?
Make both of you make insight checks.
I'm still the stage hand.
As he is pointing straight down and making gestures.
6.
I also got a 6.
Oh man.
I think you're trying to signal.
How do they misinterpret what you're trying to direct them?
Well, given the fact that I saw what he did, I'm going to give him a thumbs up. I'm going to pull the hat down, and I'm going to pop back up as a lady in the shape of the way that he did.
And I'm gonna go.
And I'm gonna put the hand on the hip, and I'm gonna start just strutting across the
I
room.
don't even change
Because-
disguises. I just start moving my hips like I'm.
Yeah, and I just start walking across the room because I think that's what he told me to do.
I'm gonna signal to stop moving.
Okay, I did stop. I still have.
Neither
Wait, can he hear us? Can he hear us, or is it?
You shouldn't talk in here.
the guard here glances back and is like, cocks his head. You're dressed like a nice lady, and you look like you have a stagehand with you. So he's just like he shrugs his shoulders and turns back.
Do I notice that?
Yes.
Yeah, I am turning into. Oh no, I'm a fancy guy, and I'm now gonna walk down the stairs and signal for her to come over to me.
And
And we're
again,
gonna meet
You make your
I'm
grave
gonna
entrance
do my
downstairs.
fancy
over to the
like
front of the beast.
walking over to where he
As we
is.
walk down the stairs, I'm like, I try to play charades with him. I'm like,
And I'm gonna put my hand out for the lady to grab my hand,
And follow suit.
and I'm gonna squeeze it really fucking hard and pull him in and be like, "What are
Good sir, you are very forward.
you doing?"
yeah, man.
And I'm going to very forcefully yank and guide her over to the vase.
Okay, but that's gonna be 20 gold. So he still doesn't know what he's trying to do.
And then as we're going down, I turn back into like, I'm still a stagehand, right? Or do I look like this?
You should stay a stagehand
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I
because
stay
the
a
guards
stage-
saw you and they did nothing.
Yeah, so I stay a stagehand. I just like, I just go like, huh. Is this part of the act?
I'm gonna snap my fingers at the stagehand. I'd be like, "Hey,
Huh.
stay with her."
You want to check him over?
Oh.
And I'm gonna say, "What we're looking for is in the vase right there." I said, "The guards saw you like this. Do not change back. We are not raising any alarms. Now we have to figure out how to get into that case, which we know is booby trapped, and get out those doors as fast as possible. What's inside there, I think, is something that they do not want to lose."
What's covering the room? Is it like bars or just door?
Nothing. It's just a door going outward, and there's a guard outside of each
It's
door.
literally like glass doors, just regular like what you would expect in like an old 20 style business.
Oh wait, should I turn into a guard then? Because I could trick the.
You're not raising any alarms right now, as you
Yeah.
are.
Now, you said it's on the inside. Is there anything that we have that we can do to look inside of it from where we're at?
The if you it's hard to see on the map from where you guys are sitting, but
I see.
they're one of those like glass cases
Okay.
Like a
that-
jewelry
with-
case.
that can prop open. There doesn't appear to be a latch
Oh,
or a lock on the front, and it's on like that standing desk with like the velvety inside.
Now, would I?
Inside this one is let's see, this was the yeah. There's looks like a broken half of a spear, with the pointy end, and then this vase.
Would I be able to blindly reach into the vase with Mage Hand, or no?
Try.
there's no pricing
But,
on any of these. These
um,
aren't for sale. These are just
No, these are
display.
decorations for this. And there's actually a placard in front of. There's not one in front of the vase, which is unusual, I guess.
Yep.
But there's one in front of the spear. It says, "Sir Brightclaw's spear."
I want that spear. Also.
So,
Wait, okay, so I think what I would like to do is I will walk up to the guards and tell them like I must go in this room. The what is it? A cat lady told me that I can't remember her name, but she told me that there was a set piece in here for the stage over there, and I must grab it in here.
You're saying that to the guards?
Yes.
Are you telling them that you're gonna say that to the guards, or are you just gonna go
so
walk
yeah,
away from
if he
them?
does what I think he's going to do, since it doesn't have a placard, if we can deceive the guards that we're here to get that for the stage.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all I
Okay.
do.
So
I'm going to go walk over and assist him, kind of looking official.
So
that
we are appraisers then.
Well, since we have the deception of I'm assisting Mr. Flamboyant or with his pink hair,
Yep.
I'm gonna go assist him with that and come up to the guard and be like, "Are you aware that one of our props ended up in one of your cases? How did you get this mixed up?"
Guard looks very confused.
Exactly. I don't know how this has happened. This ended up here. That is supposed to be on stage. We are going to need that for the opening. He's going to take it down there, and I'm going to go find somebody who is responsible for this. Just you wait.
The guard kind of like, well, if you have the key, that's fine.
Do I
Excellent.
have any? I can still hear what's going on the chat, or do I hear anything at the moment?
Well, I'd like you to try
They've
and...
called off the search for the gnome and the kobold at this
Okay.
point. They're missing in action.
So they're back to
But
normal.
they are on like a higher alert
I
because
would like you
they
to try and
expect they
pop the lock.
expect activity in the building.
Yeah.
Okay.
So while we're talking to him, I would like you to try and pop the lock. So when we come back, I can
Mhm.
make it look like we did the
And you
key.
can tell
Yeah.
the person directing the people now at this point is Ken.
Okay. Okay. So I'm going to walk back over to the case, and I'm going to look and see if there is a keyhole. Since we didn't see one, obviously, I'd like
Investigation
to.
check. This is you like looking around the sides, looking maybe a little underneath.
Nat 1. It was a 19. It switched,
Now you-
rolled over to a 1.
This thing looks like it's all one piece to you. Like you can tell that the glass and the wood are not obviously, but like the way the glass and
Like
like
it's
they're
sealed
and, like
in
how did
there.
they seal this in here?
Okay.
Just break it and cast mending every
Well, I'm going
time.
to need
or-
somebody that's more used to breaking into things to help me out with this.
Well, at that point,
So you're over there, and then the guard's like, "Listen, I understand stuff like this happens, but either I call it in and somebody higher up okays this, or you guys have the key and I don't have to worry about this."
I'm going to yell and be like, we don't need to get anybody involved. Nobody needs to lose their job over this.
So then I walk up to the door and I go, I got this, all right? And I pull out like the thieves' tool and I.
as
I'm standing in front of him so
and
nobody can see.
I'm still yelling at
He's
this
kind of
guard.
like at this point he's like standing to the side where he's kind of like watching like how the corner was what you guys doing, but also maintaining his post at the like.
Yeah.
But the door like the door is open and he's standing with his back to the open door, looking in.
I'm gonna talk as if he's looking for the right key. Be like, well, do you have the key or not? Which one is it?
First
Like
thing,
he has a
first
bunch
thing
of
I
them.
need from you is an investigation check to find the keyhole.
7.
You don't even see where to start on this.
I start panicking. I start tweaking like earlier.
All right. Are you still over with the guy at the door, or did you go back?
I was yelling at him, but if that is the case, since he said either call or you have the key, I'm going to pretend like I do have the key and I'm sauntering back over.
You've seen two, like you understand that two of them have searched this thing and come up with bupkis.
And I'm gonna look over at her and be like, "Do you have the key? Tell me you brought it up with you."
I would like to do
And I'm gonna cast
an
guidance on
Arcana
her
check
also.
to see if there's something magical about the reason why this thing looks as to one piece.
Are you going to do an Arcana check, or are you actually going to cast Detect Magic?
I don't have Detect Magic.
I am gonna give guidance though.
Okay.
Or would it be better if I continue the investigation for a keyhole? Like, do I feel like there's a reason why it's magic?
Well, he said there's a key.
Yeah.
So there's got to be a key.
So if he's gonna guidance, what does your guidance look like?
I mean, I put my hand on the shoulder, reassuring, and I'm gonna take like a deep breath and just exhale with my hand on her shoulder.
You feel some of the tension drain out of you, which frees you up to be a little bit more open to understanding and like viewing this thing. So it's going to give you that guidance, the extra D4.
Okay.
You took some of that negative emotion from them, and now like almost like how you do the
flagellation.
like you feel like the sting of it
Yeah.
wash across you.
And set a D4 on top of that. That would be dirty 20 plus 4, so 24.
At first, you're like, this is, and you're like, and you slide your like as you're like touching the side of it, you slide the face of the wood over, and it's like spring loaded, and there is a keyhole there.
Yeah. At which point, I'm gonna turn to the stagehand and be like, smack on the back head. Did you forget the keyhole was here?
Now try all your keys.
At which point, I'm gonna stand.
It's a thieves' tools check, which is a sleight of hand check.
Yeah, I'm gonna stand in front of where he's
I'm
at.
standing right in front, also, just bickering at him.
Very 20.
Dirty 20.
Nice.
Yeah, you.
So it looks pretty convincing.
And yet, like seam, like there's a seam in the glass that you can't see when it's closed, and it opens like straight up like a treasure chest in the middle of the glass somehow.
And then it's going to be, you take that vase. I'm taking this.
You gotta go out this front door.
And we are going to go get this show on the road.
You pick up the vase, and it goes. Clunk, 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 clunk.
And I want to take the spear, by the way.
You'll take
Well,
the
that's
spear?
I picked it up for you.
Oh, you did?
Because I told him to grab the vase
Okay.
since he's the stagehand. I'm the higher class lady,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm not going to be carrying no vase around.
Correct.
I'm taking that and be like, we are taking this and we are getting this show on the road, handing that to you, and I'm going to very authoritatively start marching, sauntering out the front door next to this guard.
Give me a deception check because you took the spear.
14.
14. He goes, whoa, whoa, whoa! It's just supposed to be the vase.
Who said anything about vase? I said there was a prop in there, and my props ended up in that case.
You know, I might need to call this one in.
You do that, and we are going to go get this show because, Lord help me,
And he
you are
reaches
not
for his
making.
ear.
I'm going to use thaumaturgy and make it sound like glass is shattering inside the room.
And then as we
Both of the guards like looking around like, what the fuck's going on?
if we start walking out the room, is there a way, like, is there lights in the entire room, or is there any light?
Yeah, this place is really well lit. There's
So,
a couple of
is
there's like
there
on the over straight ahead. There's like a chandelier that's just on the other side of the bones,
Good.
and there's a chandelier over top of the balcony area.
Fonzie, make it look like one of the glasses broke with, or Deck and make it look like one of the glasses broke with your minor illusion.
Yeah, so I do the minor illusion, but then if I could do the like fireplace, can I light out, like, can I put the lights out?
Oh, like turn the lights out. Yeah,
Yeah, so I turn the lights out and they go and they start panicking.
Yeah, I can do fireplay too.
cool.
If you-
Yeah, you guys basically shut off most of the lights and you like make it look like something's cracked and the explosion and the guards are coming in like, whoa, 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 whoa! You guys stop right now. I'm gonna call this in. We're gonna get this sorted out.
I mean, that's fine. And I'm going to step aside so they could go and check out what that noise was.
Yeah, one of them walks past you, like keeping kind of an eye while the other one stays there with you.
Mm.
Is there a way then I
And
can
he's
go
got
out?
his hand on the charm. And he's like, "Yeah, we got a disturbance at the grand entrance."
And I'm what?
You still have a charm, don't you?
Yes, I'm working.
And
on it.
you hear that, like quietly whisper.
I'm going to step off to the side. Oh man.
Are you handing me back the spear while you do that?
I-
Because if you leave with it, they're gonna notice.
I know. Yeah, I'm gonna say here, hold your prop. I know you don't like to be handed things. I know you don't like to hold things. Just for like 2
Yeah,
minutes,
just-
Marsha, please.
Fine, go do what you need to.
I'm like, you're gonna cause our divorce to the guard. I'm like, can we at least stand outside and have some fresh air?
No,
I don't know why you guys are always so
And I
obtrusive.
start pretending like I got my anxiety attack, and then you guys will go like, "Oh, he needs to go outside. Look, he needs some fresh air. Look at
Man, now Roger's having a panic attack. Guys, what are
And
you
Are
doing?
you still highly caffeinated?
yes, he is.
I need some fresh air. All this caffeine.
You just sit there going,
The guard's like, okay, and he reaches to like pat you on the shoulders, like everything's gonna be okay. And he goes through it.
And I'm going to
he's like-
cast.
And he looks super confused, and he starts reaching for his earring again.
I'm going to cast vicious mockery on him,
Okay.
and I'm going to say, "This is why you will always just be a guard." And I'm going to try to push past and run out the front door.
Yeah, I
What's your
stealth
save DC?
through.
It is 13. Wisdom 13.
Fails. Roll that d4.
All right. Well, can I grab what's in the vase?
It's a
or the
D6.
vase and try to sneak out of the building?
Whatever's in the vase, it doesn't. It's too big to come out the top of the vase.
Okay, so
So
I grab
four.
the vase and can I stealth out of the building somehow?
I was just
Roll
going to book
stealth?
it.
Yeah, like
I was just running at this
He actually
point.
like clutches the side of his head, and you see like a little tribble of nose start, little tribble of blood start to just drip out of the nose.
I thought maybe if I could like stealth out, then they would like not even think about it.
Oh, I'm just running. Well, I've already attacked him, so I'm just running.
The one that went past you is like, what's going on? And you see him like pull out that baton looking thing. The other one's like, you're trying to steal it.
Where am I in relation to the guy that pulled out the baton on him?
He's about 20 feet away from you.
Okay.
Good distance.
And who's around me?
Right next to, he's just slipped, like trying to walk past the guard. The one guard's like holding the side of his head, and then also there right next to you would be him.
So
adjacent would be the guard and Dakin, and just a little bit farther, like another square or two.
Because what I'd like to do, since I haven't made any aggressive actions at this point too, I'd like to turn to the guard that's with us and be like, don't just stand there. Are you going to stop him from escaping or not?
And he has disadvantage on his next attack, so...
Roll a discipline.
And I have nothing. I'm not holding anything, so I haven't stolen anything.
13.
13. He's like, yeah. And he turns and starts heading towards you. Like, confused, like, who, like, where's the queen? Where's the queen?
Have I had a chance to walk out of sight yet? In any way?
You would have been over...
Because I've exited the building.
Yeah, you're now stepping out onto the street. I would say if you're trying to blend into like a crowd, or are you trying to like just break line of sight?
Break line of sight.
Yeah, you can break line of sight.
Break line of sight, and I'm going to turn into Ken again.
And since we're there and we haven't made any suspicious actions as far as that goes, other than holding the two props, we're going to just casually start making our way to the door, since without alerting the guy who's now chasing after him as well.
And I'm going to walk back to the door as Ken.
Which you run into him.
Yeah, I have purpose.
And then, like, he's like, yeah, we gotta, and he's like, stops it.
Like, I'm here.
Oh.
Get your hand off your ear.
He goes, well, okay, well, they said they're gonna activate the defenses.
Yeah.
And on the inside, you can hear from that, the bones, they start to creak. As it turns its head in between the two horns, you see it firing a shot at you.
Walk faster, Dakin.
So I need you.
I'm going to send the one guard out and be like, go get him.
What's your AC?
14.
14? Okay. Alright, 13. I rolled a 9. The +4. 13 does not hit. As it goes, it fires this like arc of electricity.
Hop and
yeah, and when it gets near you though, you watch as your illusion wavers, and you're back to looking like a kobold.
And I'm gonna yell, "Stop firing inside this room with all the artifacts."
Can I try to sneak under some or out the door?
The guard next to you is like, just give it the override code.
I'm like, fine, go get him, and I will do it.
Right. Are you sending him back inside, or are you sending him outside? Okay. So he like takes off into the crowd to go.
Me or
the one guard's coming back with the baton. And
I'm gonna say, you two come here with me. I'm gonna place them under arrest.
The one guard's like was running up to like whack the F out of that kobold.
Whoa. I said they know they can't go anywhere. Go secure the doors. Make sure nobody can come up and down that lift. And I will bring these two downstairs. Make sure the path is clear. I'm coming behind you.
All right. He's like, yeah. The rest of the rest of the guards will be here soon. And
they better be.
It runs up the stairs.
And so we're gonna follow him.
Out the front door.
But
we're gonna get out of view through the crowd. We're gonna dump into whatever alleyway or store we can for you to change your appearance. Because
he went back. And
how many more disguise self spells you got?
Mine is 0. That was my last one, turning into the lady.
Okay, so you just drop that and go back to being a gnome?
Yeah.
Okay, and they're small enough I could probably carry them.
How many you got there?
I technically...
You had 2, so you used it for a stagehand and the other one, so you are out.
Yes, I'm out.
Double outs.
I'm still Ken, and I'm holding them, and I'm running through the crowd with them.
You are kind of... Like, the last thing they saw was a kobold, and they know that there was a kobold and a gnome, so If somebody's looking on the streets, that might not be a good thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
why I'm
yeah.
gonna stay with them as the as Ken,
Just run as fast as
and
you
I'm holding them and running through this crowd to get out of sight as fast
This
as
is
possible.
kind of a skill challenge.
Yeah.
It's either deception or stealth. You get to choose which one you want to roll, whether you're like kind of hiding in the crowd or if you're gonna like play it off like the whole like they're being taken kind of thing. So each of you roll one of those
13.
two.
16.
18.
Nice.
You needed 2 out of the 3 to succeed, and 2 out of the 3 did succeed. You aren't very convincing as Ken.
Okay, good.
You're just not.
The
You're not-
second
you don't-
time in a
you don't-
row.
You don't have it in you to be like
Yeah.
overtly this kind of guy.
Yeah,
You're a
yeah, yeah.
manipulator. You're not
Yeah.
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 You're not a Yakuza boss.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, you guys, but you do get, and you're on level 2. You're in the nobles area. You're not too far from the Dwarven district. You're not too far from your house.
Do you have somewhere we can hide so that the heat can die down?
Yeah, let's go. I told you I'd show you my collection.
It's gonna owe us more gold.
A slight sweat comes off my head when he says that, but I also like happiness knowing that he escaped.
Yeah, we'll go to my house.
Is still there?
You make your way onto, it's a finely lawned, like it's like a, it's not like a full blown mansion, but there's like the British estates that you would see like in downtown with like the fencing, and then there's like a bit of like
garden lawn.
yeah, like a path, like the 2 gates that you could bring a cart through or a car through and do the U, which has you can drive underneath the awning style like overhang, and there's the big entrance hall doors to it, and um it's only 1 story, but it's pretty wide, which is in a place like this. This is what do they see when they see the outside of this?
The outside of it, very think very California, like a lot of like Spanish style architecture, really well kept hedges and lawn.
Is it like tall hedges? Like
No, nothing is above 3 feet. Everything is pretty short, and I do that
Like
purposely so
long
that you can
lengthways?
see. Yeah, I do that purposely so that you can see over it. Nobody can hide behind it. Because I'm still a little bit paranoid and I'm very big on security.
unless we're known.
Correct. Yeah. And then there's a very big archway that leads to the front door with big wooden doors and a biometric of sorts or arcane type security system to get in the house.
It's about the time you guys get under the awning overhang area that you can hear like a roar rolling through the sky, and then a shadow casts over where you're at for a brief moment, and you can see like off a little bit.
Shit.
There's the white dragon.
Floorboards is
The head probably is being tracked.
But you see a white dragon flying over,
Mm-hmm.
like doing a circle around the. You could see the Nine Lives Casino entrance from like it's a ways, but it's so tall that you can see it.
Yeah.
It circles the building and starts flying toward the middle of the city.
Okay. Would I have anything inside of my home that would suppress signal or anything along those lines, or would I know how to?
You
Like
have
a Faraday box.
So I'm saying you have a what you call the clean room.
Mm-hmm.
This was something that was given to you by Grix
Yeah.
to do this.
Okay. I'm immediately going
Not
there.
this particular job, but like if you want to have something that nobody can scry on this,
Yep.
nobody can. This is a safe place.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you bring that vase into the room with these guys, you can feel like the slight vibration that happens every once in a while with the compass, compact compass.
Yeah.
Stops.
Okay.
So you know it's working because this is like this is like a location that spell.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna put it in there. We're gonna lock it.
Well, when they go in the room, this would be like probably off of like the study or the library or the office or whatever it is.
Yeah.
How's the inside decorated?
Oh, it's actually really not that. It's very minimalist, except I do have a lot of like rustic furniture, so a lot of browns, greens, a lot of like homey, warm feeling. And there is a very big like library, which is also my office. And amongst the books, there are different trophies
Hmm.
from my adventures and different things like my collecting. You would think that I'm a collector of rare things, and the rare things always generally happen to be biological or organic. So I have a claw, like a big claw up there. I take my cobalt skull and I open up a case and I put the cobalt skull back in, and I brush it off and make sure that that's there. It's got a little sign under it that has the information on it, um, like an in memory because I wasn't lying.
I go over and I read it and I just start
Yeah,
tweaking again.
I wasn't lying about what it is. So, and then I tell them. I said, don't touch anything. I said, I get that you're going to. I understand that the impulse is probably really strong. I just recommend that you don't touch anything for your safety. And if you find anything that you like or that you would like to have or see, just let me know. We could work something
I will point out to you, as of what we just did, I don't think safety is our high skill set.
out. I'm not one for infiltrating. So that was a little out of
Oh,
my
I'm talking
comfort
about
zone.
us.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the combination wasn't great,
Yeah, you would lead them from that library into the.
and I'm gonna close the
Yeah,
doors and I'm
yeah.
gonna lock
Um,
those doors.
I almost got KO'd by this, and I take the ladle from him and nailed it up.
I'm still holding
you're
it.
you're holding the ladle and you're like,
Does it
it
have food on it?
smells pretty
It's
good.
got food
Yeah,
on it. I
it
hope
smells like it's got
mycelium.
like a breakfast bisque.
I'm like, I know a place with a lot of mycelium, and it's quite fascinating. I showed one of my friends, a new friend, this mycelium, and he loves it. So
Great for cleaning flesh off skulls.
yeah, absolutely. Or
As I start tweaking out again.
You feel pretty safe here. You feel the thing rattling around in the vase, but you haven't actually looked at it yet.
Yeah. What is this thing, by the way?
which thing, the vase? Oh, yes, that's right. Yeah. So this is something you really don't want to touch.
Oh god, you've been holding it the entire time.
Is this something that I was told not to divulge on, or is this like a?
You know that like from your interactions with them, your job was twofold. One
Mhm.
was an evaluation.
Yep.
One was an acquisition.
Yep.
You have acquired,
Yep.
as far as you know.
And my
You
assessment
haven't actually
is
laid eyes on it,
ongoing.
so that's a question you answer yourself.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Um, Before we go into what this is, I think we need to sit down for a little bit. But not long, just a,
What is
a
this?
few
What does this
questions.
room look like?
This room is a very big, open living area that has a fireplace, more books, and a few really comfortable looking like couches that are like wrapped tightly
Fonzie's
in
gonna
leather.
immediately see that, go
Uh,
running in and face dive into one of the fluffiest
I would also
cushions
say
he
there's
finds.
like these like Tesla coil looking
Mhm.
things affixed to the walls, like they're half in the room. And every once in a while, you would hear like a
An arc.
off of them.
Fonzie is face diving in between the cushions.
That's fine. He's
You just
allowed
look
to.
over, there's a nomad stuck in between the cushions, the body sticking out the top.
Guns stuffed in the
In
waistband.
the
of
waistband.
pants.
Yeah, I haven't secured that early, have I?
Yeah, and I just encourage them to have a seat.
For
we'll,
lunch.
we'll let 'em, yeah. Um, and like the fireplace comes on. I use like thaumaturgy to turn the
Just
fireplace
a
on or
quick
something.
little.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I just go. I take a deep breath and I look over at them and I'm like, You guys good?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
I touch
Yeah.
the base.
You touch the vase, and like you can, like when you do it, you feel whatever's inside of it clinks against where you just touched.
Mhm.
Like it moves against it.
Can I look inside the base?
Can you look inside?
I won't.
Okay. Looks like a very familiar looking shape. The blacksmith that you saw's head had that almost like an Iron Man helmet look to the species that he is. Um, that's another one of those in here, but this one looks like it's got more armor, more like jagged edges.
I was just about to say, does he think it's the Smith? And we
No,
have to
no. Same,
It's
same,
another head
same
that we're
type of
presenting
creature,
him.
but it is another head.
Okay, I'm going with the storyline though. So I stick my head into the vase
That's a
and
bad
I go,
idea.
"Buddy, are you in there? I can save you, Smith."
It's not Smith. It's not Smith.
Are you
It's
sure? And I have the
There-
base on my stuck on
something
my head.
far scarier.
Fonzie's gonna pop up and be like, "There's another Smith."
Do you
I think
actually touch head to head with the head inside? Like your forehead, like your snout or your forehead to this thing's head?
Yes, I will.
Well, I do, in
You-
fact.
You poof. Nothing else.
Okay. But it doesn't work that way. You have to
You-
anchor the soul
Poof,
first.
pull your head out of the thing.
Is it like a Iron Man helmet? Do I?
Well, it's in a vase. It looks like it's too the helmet looks like it's or the head looks like it's too big.
I break the vase.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and
I
then
jump up immediately and I grab.
rolling onto the coffee
I
table.
grab the head.
Yeah, is like I said, it looks like if you were to take like the Iron Man helmet, like the
Yeah.
forged head, right? But like the eyes have like armor platings around the thing, like it adds like a whole layer of extra metal around it. And they're jagged blades that swoop up, almost like a samurai helmet, but swept back.
Mhm.
On the
Fonzie's
head.
gonna see that
And
and be
they're
like,
and like, but the thing is, like the blades on them, they're like most like there's only one on the side that goes like about this far off the head, but the rest of them are snapped off at the base.
Fonzie's gonna see that and be like, "You know, Dakin, when we became partners, I knew you were gonna be the one to get us ahead."
I'm
My
gonna.
drums. Oh, my drums.
I'm gonna grab the head and I'm going to bring it closer to me on the coffee table and I'm gonna set it up, staring at them.
Can I wear it?
No.
Perception checks from everybody, real quick.
Not one.
Oh, for me as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
19.
Complete opposites.
Oh, 24.
24. You two notice that when you set the head down, the eyes flicker blue for just a second.
Yep. Yep.
And
And
like, and that's it.
Yeah, I think that thing's still on.
this is why I don't want you guys touching it or going near it. I'm not
Oh,
worried about
I'm
you
not touching
breaking it. I'm worried about it breaking you.
What if I go over there and touch it? Like,
See, this is what
No,
happens
like
when
you immediately like Dak immediately touches it with his claw, and it doesn't react. It doesn't light
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
like this is what happens when you bring us into a room full of things that we don't know what they do.
Yeah.
As
Well,
I
that's
start
why I
touching
told
them
you
to
just
take
let
around
me
the
know and I
room.
will explain whatever you need to
Define
know.
everything.
like any like creature thing. If I
Well,
start
in
poking
here,
at it,
it's more of like a little like
Yeah,
a
I locked
room,
that room.
living room nook. You're locked in this
Yeah,
room.
there's books.
Which is it's like it's a safe room. It's protected. It's shielded.
Yeah.
But there is those weird like Tesla coil looking things along. There's like 6 of them total in the room.
well, I
2 on
guess
each wall.
I tried to annoy
Sorry.
Cassius by just touching everything.
Math doesn't work. 8 of them total. Sorry.
I tried to like annoy Cassius by just going around being like, touch.
Do you touch one of those coils?
Yes.
I'm gonna let him.
Fine, yeah, fine, whatever.
Yeah, you
It's just
you take
all his dice, yeah.
one damage from a spark.
Oh, okay. I'll take it. I mean, I have to. But I'm just saying.
I'll allow it.
As the like my scales like slightly raised as I'm like,
Like hair on your arm.
no.
It was a shocking experience.
It was shocking. If you guys have any questions about what I have or what we can do with this, just let me know. I have no problem explaining it. The people that want this want it for a much bigger reason than anything we could possibly imagine.
Is he looking the other way from the helmet?
No,
Or
I'm
is he
staring
staring
right at it because I'm not keeping
Can
my
I
eyes off.
stealth to try to put the helmet on?
Well, there's a head. It's a
not
whole
helmet,
head.
It's a head.
It's a
Yeah,
head.
It looks like an Iron Man helmet.
Can I
That's the way to describe
can I put the head on, or is there no way to put
It
it
would
on?
just
do you wanna
sit.
try-
It would just sit on top of your head. It's a head.
Well, you'd have to
you-
try and get it away
Is
from
there a
Roll-
hole
make-
in the head?
No,
There's not. There's not.
Okay, I'm not doing that.
But
Then.
you have to pick up the head to look to see at that. And when you pick it up, like you get that static shock when you have like the static on you and you touch something. It doesn't hurt this time, but you guys, because the way he's holding it, would also see at that point that for a brief moment the eyes flicker red.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah, and that's I'm gonna put my hand and slide it this way a
At
little
which
bit.
point Ponzi's going to run over and just be like, let's go sit on the couch right now.
Yeah,
Stranger danger on that
Yeah.
thing.
I will. I'll say. Are you guys familiar with what Warforged are?
Forge War?
Warforged.
Isn't that the TV show where the blacksmiths get on and they make different types of weapons?
Oh man, that reality show on the
Yeah.
Dragon Network.
I think we saw it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we've seen that show before.
Sure. Besides the show, there is a species called Warforged. These Warforged are conscious beings, much like your friend Smith, except these were built for war. It is conscious, I
Ponzi's gonna get
believe.
comfortable on the couch and kind
Yeah.
of tilt the head
Yep.
down, so it looks like he's paying attention, but he's actually.
And I'm
taking a
like,
nap.
this is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like a
So-
energy
so
vampire.
Ponzi essentially just gets lulled to sleep. By
Yes.
And then with me, it's the complete opposite. I'm like
He's enthralled.
enthralled. I'm like,
And I'm gonna explain to them the whole
Then
process.
the coffee wears off.
Yeah.
and then I'm crashed.
I need you.
I'm
make-
excited for this.
It's not a matter of like physical fortitude. It's now, can you maintain with the force of will? Make a wisdom saving throw.
And this is while I'm explaining the entire process of transferring consciousness from something to another
13.
thing.
13. You watched as Ponzi like tipped his hat forward, started to go to sleep,
And I
and
go,
you hear like this the small little.
No.
I-
The gnome sleepies.
and then as the kobold is just staring at you enraptured, and not blinking, and not blinking, and not blinking. And then you stop talking, and they're still just staring at you, not blinking.
He's asleep with his eyes open.
And he's just standing there, asleep with his eyes open.
I notice he's asleep.
Yeah,
Okay.
so at some point you start saying
Perfect.
random stuff that
Yeah.
is stuck with him, and he's not reacting.
So I'm gonna smile, and I'm going to get some. I have blankets. I'm gonna take 2 blankets. I'm gonna put one over him, and one over him. I'm going to.
I start shaking the blanket. 'Cause I'm shaking.
I'm gonna scoop both of them up, and I'm gonna walk to a guest room,
shaking like a
and I'm
fool.
going to put them inside and let them go to sleep. And I'm going to make a call to my people and let them know I've retrieved the item. It is in good shape. It is active. And as far as the 2 that I had to do the assessment is ongoing, almost complete. As soon as you get here, as soon as you can, the assessment will be completed.
That's where we're going to tonight's session. All of you have reached the thresholds of the milestone for level 2.
Oh,
Congratulations.
excellent.
Sweet.
Tune in next week